What's up, and welcome to the Mallard Mischief Podcast. This is episode 2.8, season 2, episode 8, brought to you by our friends over at the Lost Hat Co., the blanks you've always wanted. Today, we're here in the studio with my man Ben Moss, and we've got a special guest today.
We do. And just so happens that he actually represents our very own sponsor.
He does. He does.
Ben, we're glad to have you here with us, man.
Ben Bush with the Lost Hat Co.
Excited to see you guys.
The Lost Hat Co. is just one of the ways that we could describe Ben Bush. But we'll start with that. We're going to get into all the details in the show. This is going to be fun.
It's all be a good one.
I'm super excited about it. Appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, man.
While we get into everything, we've got out of the Buffalo Trace Distillery, we've got a bottle of this Eagle Rare, which is one we haven't done on the show yet.
No.
And one of my personal favorites, actually. So get a little bit
hard,
of that.
It's hard to beat the Eagle Rare for a show sipper. But we'll drink this throughout the show and then circle back at the end and we'll rank it.
See what
we can rate it from 1 to 5.
And this is a single barrel. This is a store select.
It is.
So
yeah. What store? I can't even remember.
Briarwood Wine and Spirits.
That's right here in Jackson.
Tranquility Base. Not sure what that means, but
I don't know. It's got to be delicious.
Has to be.
Anyways, so Mr. Bush, we're gonna just jump into the show, and if you just want to give us we'll just start with like where you're from, background, where you went to school, and then we're going to take it from there. And I know we'll have a ton of questions and can't wait to hear some of the stories you got to share. And obviously we're going to talk about duck hunting also, since this is a hunting show. So what's up, man? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man.
Well, childhood. Grew up in Greenwood, Mississippi. Well, Slaughter, Mississippi. If you don't know where that is.
Yeah.
My dad is a third generation cotton, corn, soybean farmer. So they got a nice little operation there. So I grew up doing gravel road, P.O. box, shooting BB gun, birds, hunting barefoot, doing all that. So learning hard work, young age, getting to watch, what my dad did. And it was my great granddad, but it's my granddad. He passed away, I think 15 years ago this past week. But it's my granddad, my two uncles, and my dad that run it.
They're still up there farming.
Mm-hmm.
Still today.
Yep.
Still farming. How many acres they got out there?
It's right under 15,000.
Golly.
And it's
15,000.
kind of spread out.
That's a large
throughout
operation.
Small little
LaFleur and Tallahatchie County.
So there's 3 guys. Or is there more people that work?
Oh yeah, no, they've got a farm manager. They're on the South African program too, and then
That's always been a very interesting program to me.
It is. Those guys, they work too.
Yeah,
I've heard that.
They work too.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit because that's always been. Have you ever heard of that program before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's an interesting one. But
it started there in Greenwood. There's another farm family that's.
You know how it started?
Runs it. I don't. My dad does.
Like that's so random to me.
I know.
It's just this random group of guys from South Africa end up in.
And they come from farm. Most of them come from farm families, so they know.
Really,
and these are sharp.
They could just make more money here than they can at home?
Yeah. I want to say the goal. I think my dad told me this. The goal is kind of save up enough money to buy their families out and let them retire and run everything there.
Gotcha.
Plus, everything's. There's a war on the farmers there too, so I don't know all the political side of that. But, but so it's pretty cool.
So you grew up farming, like you were helping dad.
Yeah. Every summer, watering corn, cotton, hot, learning how to change flats on pivots and doing that. It every summer. But I'm starting over, like. I'm doing all the manual labor that the lowest on the totem pole is gonna do, chopping cotton. So I remember my great granddad hated seeing corn stalks coming up sporadically in cotton field. It just looked ugly.
Yeah.
Seed getting stuck in the planter.
Right.
So I'd go out there with a machete and cut it, spraying pigweed with a backpack sprayer. I just remember my shirt off, it just spilling out everywhere, all down my back. I'm like, there's 100% getting cancer.
Oh yeah.
Well, at least you only have 15,000 acres to spray.
Well, just I'd always be on the four wheeler riding around. I didn't have driver's license at the time. But doing all that, just tell you what, working in that heat all summer, and then as I got up into high school, I'd go farm for 3 months. And then show back up at school for 2 days. It's like ready to go.
You're ready.
I was in shape, and I did the same
Heck
thing.
yeah.
Getting there, but I did the same thing before I went to basic training for the Army.
So you went to school?
Yeah, I was at Pill Academy. Unfortunately, my parents divorced when I was 10. My brother was 7 or 8, so we moved to Madison with our mom and went to MRA. There's a big There was a Greenwood Madison connection, which still kind of is. There was some guys from Pill Academy that were at MRA at the time that knew our family, so that's why we went there.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Transitioning though, at that age was real tough, like because we had an awesome relationship with our dad and our mom, so it was like it was rough.
Yeah.
Trying to get there, new school, not wanting to leave. Sports, football and baseball, that kind of kept us busy, and that was our thing.
So when y'all moved to Madison, were you then going back to Greenwood in the summer?
Oh,
and
dude, summer, every weekend hunting with Dad.
Anytime
we
could?
were.
So y'all stayed super close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, not having waders at that age and having hip boots and just freezing and breaking ice with Dad.
Yeah.
Which is rare now.
Or if you had waders, they were canvas back then.
Oh,
You remember those?
Yeah, neoprene that didn't bend. But
canvas was the worst. Like, I don't think you could be any colder.
Yeah.
I never had a canvas
Oh my
pair of waders.
gosh. They were terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. Like freeze to death.
So was that back in you were wearing canvas waders in 1932?
No, it was way later than that. Like in the late 90s.
Oh, you were born in what?
84.
29?
Yeah. I've got a kid that's almost your age.
That's not true. I'm like a decade older than.
But man, very, very lucky to have farmland.
Yeah, that's
to
awesome.
duck hunt. It was mostly field hunting.
Y'all just had
We
water structure that y'all put water on?
Yeah, so just stopping up culverts before now everything's landform and it just doesn't flood right. But precision farming now, there's not much food on the ground.
Right.
They put farming. I'll tell you this: they put farming first, but they don't even care about hunting. My dad and uncles killed so many ducks in the 80s and 90s. Like they don't even they don't even care.
Something I'd like to hear. Matter of fact, I forgot to even tell you this, Chris. The last episode we did, I think it was the last episode, we were talking about why do you never see people hunting ducks in dry fields in Mississippi? And, one of the things that we talked about was a lot of farmers north of us and in the Midwest and stuff they leave food out specifically for ducks. We don't have that here.
No.
And neither of us could speak to the agriculture practice. I actually had a guy reach out to me that was like,
he listened to the podcast?
yeah.
Oh,
and he
that's
was like,
awesome.
I can speak to exactly what y'all are talking about whenever you want to hear it. But I'd love to hear, from an agricultural background, why do you think that is that we never see? I mean, precision farming is a huge part of it. But
man, if you want to have a high yield and actually make a living or break even, which is making a living in farming, you got to do it right. Irrigate. So from my understanding, from what I've seen, rowing up your fields in the wintertime, in the fall, the reason you do that is so those fields will be prepped, ready to go come springtime. Because if they're not, it will be too wet in the spring to get them rowed up.
Really?
You're not going to get the seed in the ground in time.
So that's what we were talking about.
That's all it is.
Here in the South, basically
right now it's just dirt
everywhere. Yeah, I mean, the farmers harvest, cut, till, turn everything under. It's nothing but dirt. Like you go to North Dakota right now, there's probably still corn laying on the ground.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's a
And-
precipitation thing or a moisture thing at
and
least.
just being prepared for the
Yep.
the next season.
Yep.
So
So
I guess that makes
I mean,
sense.
snow geese are. I mean, I saw more geese in the Delta this past weekend
I saw a lot of
than-
migrators.
than I saw all total of last year.
Really.
And they're in those fields. I mean,
Yeah.
they're digging up
Mhm.
corn cobs out of the mud. But I mean, they're there.
No, that makes sense though. That does make sense.
But we had some spots. They're ruined now, but we had spots growing up killing duck. I remember pulling up and Dad shining the headlights on a field, and it's just 1,000 mallards just getting up.
Wow.
They were roosting there.
What's the biggest
Mhm.
difference you see today? That from like what's changed? Why is it so different now?
Just land forming. You got stuff that drains and doesn't have a zero grade where
Mhm.
there's 3 inches of water throughout the whole field. It's got to get 6 foot of water in one corner just to push it out in the field. But
Yeah.
we can still stop up culverts. It just takes tons of rain to get it there.
Mm-hmm.
But just getting everything landform. I mean, I remember growing up and everything naturally flooded.
Yeah.
You just stop the culvert up and
Yeah.
everything naturally floods, and we just had to stop spots. The recipes, flooded food, and then your woods that you hunt in close by, in the middle, or connected to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I mean, I've got some spots that hold water year round. That when it gets really cold, we get up in there and kill a bunch. But it's just we got another spot that we bought a place up in North LaFleur County off 49, in I think 2000, and I remember looking at it with my dad riding around, and it was old catfish hatchery, and it was like 7 or 8 catfish ponds, and they were all growing up in buckbrush and willow trees. And we walked out there. I remember walking out there and finding old decoys, and he was like, "Man, they used to kill a ton of ducks in here." And like a year later, cleaned up, slicked up, and they plant soybeans there.
Really?
But those ducks still come. There's 2 fields that hold water that will stop up, and ducks still come to that. They're just hard to hunt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting up close.
Nowhere to hide. Yeah.
Yeah, like we get on the levee and get in the grass, and we've got a pit line there. But what's funny is the most success I've had in that field is when the wind's backwards.
Really?
Yeah. And I always argue with my brother, like, we don't need to hunt this side. The wind, and I'm like, dude, just watch. They'll swing and they'll get 10 feet from you instead of coming into the decoys.
Yeah.
I know swing ducks doesn't sound very,
It's not sexy.
It doesn't sound, but I'm telling you, like, that's the best hunts that we've
No,
had.
I-
When we hunt we don't hunt
I've
those
seen that
fields much. We just let them build up
Yeah.
as a rest area.
Yeah.
And hunt other spots, but
So you were MRA doing baseball and football?
running track, and finally got accustomed to that, and every summer go back. If I wasn't playing, when I was done playing baseball in the summer, I'd go farm with Dad,
Yeah.
brother and I, and we'd do that. Graduated to a tractor. Finally getting on tractors. not air conditioned, not cab.
I was going to say, do you think
Yeah.
straight
No.
into the cab or?
No. But just, man, doing that, we really enjoyed going up there when they were picking cotton, hanging out and helping out. But just going up there hunting every weekend.
Yeah.
And
This
went
was high
to-
school. High
yeah,
school.
yeah, high school. Didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was a little bit better football player than baseball player, undersized. Ended up going playing junior college baseball at Mississippi Delta.
Come on.
I had some options, but I had a bunch of Greenwood friends, a bunch of Delta buddies that were like, come here. And that was one of the best 2 years of my entire life.
Yeah.
Funny story, Jared Lewis. That's where I met Jared Lewis.
Really?
Yeah.
He played
So
baseball
He
there?
played baseball with me at Delta. We were
Really?
really, really close. Yep.
I did not know that.
So,
I didn't
yeah.
either.
So did that.
What year was this?
That was 05 to 07.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So my neighbors now in Brandon were both baseball coaches at Mississippi Delta.
While you were
before
there?
before I was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yep.
Small world.
Pretty awesome. Yep.
So where'd you
funny.
go from there?
Went to had some options, go to some other schools, some smaller D1 schools, and Delta State was one. I was really thinking about Delta State.
Mhm.
Took 2 visits there. Had guys who were like, if you want to go, I really wanted to walk on at Mississippi State.
Mhm.
Very
I don't
immature.
blame you.
Well, very immature. I was like, that's where I want to go anyway. If I don't make it, who cares? You know. I was kind of burnt out at the time. Baseball, you know, girlfriend, just wanting to. I never didn't party too much. Just wanting to party do the college thing.
Yeah,
so,
right.
So walked on. Did not make it. I was the last guy to get cut.
At Mississippi State.
At Mississippi State,
Okay.
they took one walk on that year.
Wow.
And they were not good. So, but yes, that was something that I had always.
And what year
dreamed of
was
doing.
that?
That was it was Polk's last year, so it was 08.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was probably there then.
Yep.
I graduated 08.
Yeah, I graduated in 10.
Okay.
So yeah, did the Mississippi State thing. Changed majors 3 times. Still didn't know what I wanted to do. You know, born in '86, so I grew up with Rambo and all that. The Green Berets, all that stuff. So I had always wanted to be a Navy SEAL, be a commando, whatever you want to call it.
So this was
my
like,
entire life. So
okay,
when
so
I'm
that's like
getting
a childhood
yes,
dream.
so when I'm getting ready to get out of college, I'm getting pressured. You know, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't want to do anything. I want to hunt and fish. I want to go, you know. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to join the military. Everybody thought it was a joke. Everybody said, don't do it. Only person was like, dude, go do that. Was my dad.
Really?
Yeah. Of course, mom's saying no.
Yeah.
Friends are like, why are you doing that? I'm like, dude, I'm going. I'm going to do it. So I am coach. So let me back up a couple years. So while I'm at Mississippi State, one of my best friends and roommate at the time's dad was the head of school at Oak Hill Academy in West Point.
Yeah.
And we wanted to make some little extra money. So we coached football and baseball while we were in college. We'd leave class and drive to West Point and coach. And that's where I met Neil and Daniel Hayes. So we coached them in baseball and
No way.
and football. So we became, we're a couple years, 3 years older than them.
Mm-hmm.
So and they didn't listen to us. We're a bunch of college kids coaching football. So we were kind of close. We were friends. I want to say my last year at State, they were freshmen. So
yeah,
we hung out some, but did that. So, yeah, I was like, I'm going. There's nothing that I really can think about doing. Dad's like, if you don't love farming, don't come farm. And you got to be all in. And he's like, well, you've lived in Madison for X amount of years. He's like, I knew more farming when I was 12 than you know. So, that's all they've ever done.
Yeah,
all they've ever known. So, didn't really want to do that. I wasn't all into it. So I was like, I'm going. And I am coaching football during practice one day, and I just randomly call a Marine recruiter and kind of tell them that I'm graduating in May and all this stuff. And I can hear them playing ping pong. I can tell. And they were like, hey, we'll call you back. We're going to save your number. And I'm like, okay. I was trying to join the military, and you want to call me back. I'm like, okay. So the word got
Must
out.
have been a pretty competitive.
Yeah.
Right?
So I didn't know anything. I don't know anybody in the military. Didn't know anything about it. But I was like, I'm doing it. Nobody can tell me otherwise. So word got out through my friend circle, and the buddy at Ole Miss was graduating. His brother, they're from Madison. His older brother was a Ranger at the time, and I remember in high school him bringing photos of them, on deployment in Iraq at like Saddam's house, swimming in a swimming pool, like just AKs and stuff lined up on the wall by the pool. Like he was, he had all these photos. He'd bring them, be like, dude, look, this is my brother sent me.
Wow.
And
Jeez.
yeah, don't know the legality of all that or anything, or operational security stuff, but whatever. So he was like, hey, I'm calling my brother. I'm telling him. And he's like, I want to go too. So we're going to go as a buddy team, and he's talking to a recruiter in Oxford. I'm talking to one in Starkville. So we needed to use the same one because we were going to go in together. So I ended up driving to Oxford a few weekends and meeting with them. Well, he's colorblind, and I've tracked, a few deer with him, and he ain't lying. So it's pretty funny. So his brother kind of is our mentor, kind of sets us up, tells us what to say, right and wrong thing, look what to listen for, and how to finagle that process. And he's like, oh, you can cheat on he's telling his brother, you can cheat on the colorblind test. When the invasion happened, they were getting all they could for Iraq. Yeah, they could cheat on the colorblind test, but we ended up going to medical in Jackson and found out real quick that you cannot cheat on the colorblind test. So he was not going Ranger. His brother's like, I'm getting you on a Ranger contract. This is what you're going to do. This is why. It's the greatest place to grow up in the military. You're going to do more as a brand new guy than some other special operations guys will do in 2 or 3 years because they're still going through the pipeline. So, yeah, he did not end up going. So I ended up going by myself. And I tell you what,
he couldn't go.
No,
he medical.
He was not guaranteed a Ranger contract. I think there's a few MOSs, a few jobs in the military that you can get, but that's not what he wanted to do.
Yeah,
he wanted to do the cool stuff. So
yeah.
So he decided not to go. He ended up going to pharmacy school.
Mm-hmm.
So it worked out. But yeah, I went by myself, went through the process, and reported to Oxford. And I remember getting in the car with the recruiter. I had a pair of clothes and my phone and a phone charger and my wallet. That's all I had. Backpack.
Dang.
He drives me to we drive to Memphis.
And how old are you at this point in time?
I'm 23.
23?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, graduating, I did the a little bit
and
longer.
And you got a college degree from Mississippi State.
Yeah. So, and I ended up actually going enlisted. I did not want to go officer.
Okay.
So I wanted to do, at the time, I didn't want to make it a career. I want to do some cool stuff and short amount as possible.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of starting life over again. If I could go back, I'd have joined straight out of high school.
Yeah.
But the only benefit of going enlisted as a college graduate is you're an E4, you're a specialist starting out instead of a private.
Yeah.
So get a little, extra $200 a month.
Yeah.
So it did not go in my favor. I'll tell you that. Yes, I was more mature when I showed up than a lot of these 18-year-olds by living a little bit of life. But, when I showed up and reported to basic training and they found out I went to college before I joined the military, dude, there was a target on my back.
Really?
I was getting hemmed up and hammered by these drill sergeants.
Really?
So I got lucky by having some really good ones that had a lot of combat experience in Iraq. You want to think about it, in like 4 or 5 years, there's going to be drill instructors with no combat experience trying to teach young recruits stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, dude, all these guys had a ton of experience. It was very humbling.
Yeah, because when you went through, the whole Iraqi war had been going on for 10 years.
Yeah, because I got there in 2010 or 11.
Yeah, and that started like 01, 02, something like that. Yeah.
So, it was very eye-opening, very humbling, but you get used to it really quick. And I kind of liked it. I did not have to, I was just arguing with wife where
basic training we're talking about.
Yeah.
Now?
Just arguing with wife about missing a sock. We were doing laundry a second ago. And I'm like, dude, I didn't care about anything except what I was supposed to do, that task, that time.
Yeah.
And man, when I tell you the military has a recipe that's been working for 100 years on mind games, what prepare you for. They're mind games doing, you can do the right thing and you're still getting destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it was funny, just watching people want to quit and getting woke up out of your barracks room at 3:00 in the morning and having to take your bunks apart, take them outside and put them back together. Outside. And then there's rock pit where you do PT every morning and doing bear crawls in the rock pits. And then going and undoing your bunks and then going back and putting them together and going back to sleep for 30 minutes just to get woke up again. Like that kind of stuff. was
just mentally taxing.
dude. And but I thought some of it was so funny.
Really?
Yeah. One story, like a lot of it's a blur. If I'm sitting around Ranger buddies and they bring up something, I can remember every tiny detail. But I mean, timeline wise, I forget a lot of stuff. But I do remember we had some guys from Guam from that military base that were in my basic training class, and they were all cousins and brothers. There was like 7 of them. And I had one in our class. And the drill sergeants just loved this dude. He could just crush us in the 2-mile run, push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups. And this dude was a scumbag. And they did not know. This dude was stealing food, sneaking into his room, into the barracks room, like cheating on stuff, cutting corners, not making his bed, just sleeping on top of his bed. Sorry, just all this stuff that we saw, and we couldn't stand him. And I remember his there was, at base training, you've got 3 or 4 platoons within that one company, Alpha Company, Bravo, Charlie, Delta. So, we would have our platoon and we would kind of do our own thing, and then we'd do everything in formation, all that stuff. But I remember one day they did the pugil sticks, the football helmet with the pads on the end of the stick.
Mm-hmm.
And you've seen it on TV or movies, but we got to do that in the rocks against other platoons. And one of the guys from Guam was the first one that I got to go against. And dude, I beat this dude's head in with that thing. And I just remember how fun that was, because we couldn't stand these guys. But I remember that. I remember a dude doing bear crawls and rolls in the rocks, and he was throwing up everywhere. And I'm low crawling next to him. And I remember a drill sergeant making him get his throw up out of the rocks and put it in his cargo pocket and keep it. I'm just saying that stuff happened.
Where was
all
this?
the time? That's at Fort Benning, Georgia. I forgot to say where. Yeah, that's where I went.
Yeah.
So you do you you're in basic training for Army Rangers, or you're just Army
for
basic
infantry?
training?
Just Army basic.
You're just
'Cause I heard you say
infantrymen.
earlier, they got you a Ranger contract, but how does that work?
So,
Well, before we do that, what as far as basic training goes, what did you find to be like? Was it challenging at all, or was
yes, it was. I mean, you get used to everything that's challenging. You get used to real quick. So I was never
physical, or more the mental aspect that's a challenge.
Both, but everything physical is like to standard. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, you get scored on, push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, and your 2-mile run. But they trick you. Is where I'm going with this recipe of military training. Like they trick you into getting in shape. Like you run everywhere you go, and you're running in boots. So you run into chow, you're running back from chow. Like you're just running everywhere you go, nonstop. So, you'll take a PT test every 2 or 3 weeks, and, I thought I could do 100 push-ups, but when you get to the Army, you're like, yeah, I can do 100 half butt push-ups. No, you do them the way they want them done. No, I'm sitting at like 50 in 2 minutes. So they're counting. And I just remember, and I was never a long distance runner. I was a sprinter. The first time I ever ran 2 miles was for a recruiter. And in my group, I ran, 15, 16-minute 2 mile, and I beat everybody, like barely. And I was like, was that good? Like I just beat everybody that's joining the military. And the recruiter's like, I've seen guys run like sub 10 before, 10:30.
Golly.
And I'm like, oh God, I got a lot to do. But when I got there, I was in pretty good shape, because I had farmed that summer with my dad, and I was watering cotton, corn, punching holes in polypipe, and I'm running in the mud, swimsuit, barefoot. I'm running and turning wells on and off and tying stuff up and doing all that. So I was in pretty good.
I mean, you were kind of accustomed to hard work anyway.
Yeah,
just coming
just
up
growing
on the
up.
farm.
Yeah, that football and baseball. I mean, a lot of guys didn't play sport. You don't meet many people that did all that stuff.
Really?
Dude, it's a
That's kind of
weird.
surprising.
Yeah, I always say we need more guys from the South. There's a lot of East Coast, West Coast people, a lot of Texas guys, but like Mississippi's we're not a military culture type state.
We're
Like,
really
it's
not.
It's like go to school, play sports, work hard, go to church, get married, graduate college, get married,
Yeah.
have
The
grow a
American
family,
dream.
get it. Yeah, that's like it.
Yeah, you don't hear about
There's
a
no
ton of
option.
military people.
There's no option.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys I met and became really good friends with, that was like their only option. You know,
They were just destined for it.
just destined. And dude, the cards were stacked against me. I have a great relationship with my parents. You meet guys that are like, oh, my dad beat me, or I
yeah.
didn't have a good relationship.
I've always
with
heard
them.
that
like
military is
they're hard
a way out for a lot of people to kind
Yeah.
of start pave their own way.
yeah, but
It
hard
was a little
work,
different for
hard
you.
work.
I mean, it was a decision you made. Like
Yeah.
you just
Oh,
wanted,
yeah.
you wanted to do it.
And
Do you
what
think that's why they gave you so much trouble for going to college first?
Oh yes, I was skipping out on the war.
Oh, they thought you were taking the easy way out.
Yeah, I was skipping out on the war.
Yeah, you're
And I'm
soft
like,
as
I didn't
grapes,
even
aren't you?
know there was a war. I don't watch the news
Yeah.
at 18 or at 20 years old.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was still a war going on. So
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm here now. Let's
Yeah, like,
freaking
let's
go, man.
go.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
So explain how the when you enlist, how they like, how does one end up in special forces?
Well, you can get an option 40 contract, which is a 75th Ranger Regiment, from your recruiter.
Okay.
At the time, they didn't have any, and they play that game. You know, recruiters are just trying to meet quotas. They play that game. We don't have any money. We don't have any enlistment bonus. We don't. I got an Army backpack. I got a kid in the or a Ranger contract. The grads from Ole Miss. He got like $30,000 just for signing.
You got a
up.
backpack.
And I got an Army backpack. They didn't have money at the time, so I didn't care or know the difference. But they didn't have any Ranger contracts available, so I went, and I'm talking about my buddy's brother that was technically like kind of my mentor. He kind of told me who to meet when I got there. Anyway, he was like, I'll get you a Ranger contract. When I got to basic, you know, I was going through all that process and getting accustomed to that, getting in better shape, learning infantry tactics, all that stuff. I found out quick that it's a volunteer unit. Anybody can go if you meet those requirements. You know, your ASVAB score and your PT test requirements. Like, you can go volunteer to do that. They're not going to turn you away. And then I found out that drill sergeants are handing out Ranger contracts and Special Forces contracts there at basic. If you're a PT stud, so I learned how to do everything the right way. One PT test I did 50 push-ups, then I do 60, then 75 runs. Getting down, I'm getting it below 12 minutes. You know, and I got really good at push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups were just the way you had to do it, and hadn't done them that way. It took a while to finally get those. I didn't get those down till I got to Ranger Regiment. But ended up graduating, or we're getting done with basic. Then you start AIT, which is where you learn your specialty job. Didn't know this, but 11 Bravo is your basic rifleman, infantry MOS, your door kicker, your CQB guys. That's what I wanted to do. They did not have. I signed a contract for 11 X-ray, so that's either going to be 11 Bravo, so needs in the Army. 11 Bravo, 11 Charlie. 11 Charlie is a mortarman. So our entire company at Basic Training got 11 Charlie slots, MOSs. Did not know what that was, but a mortarman, it's a high angle, basically artillery round, and you just learn all that stuff. So we had to learn that job.
Is that like geometry, basically?
I mean, yes, but they dumb it down so good, and your quick math, your Army math, like it's not that bad.
Yeah.
And we kind of embraced it and accepted it, and honestly not what I signed up for. But learned that, getting shoot high explosives is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But finished that up, graduated, drill sergeant offered me a Ranger contract. My buddy got one sent there too, so I was good. So I got one. Well, at the time they flipped it. At the time, when you graduate basic and you have a Ranger contract, you go to airborne school, which is also at Fort Benning. It's a 3-week course. So you can honestly finish airborne school in 2 days. It's the easiest thing ever.
Now, is that like jumping out of a plane, like parachute?
Yeah, static line jumps.
Yeah.
You do a lot of training for 2 weeks, and then the third week you got to do 5 jumps. So very easy, fun. I kind of used airborne school to get in shape for RASP, which is the Ranger Assessment Selection Program, which is also at Fort Benning. And so on my off time, I was running around the track and rucking a little bit, memorizing the Ranger Creed. That's a big deal.
Yeah. So you were living in Georgia. I mean, you're
I was
full
on Fort
time
Benning
there,
the whole time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So did that, and now the fun starts because you just spent, I want to say, what, basic and AIT 14 weeks. So I just spent 17, 18 weeks with your average military guys, some sprinkled in, some studs sprinkled in here and there. And you get to RASP and you're like, okay, this dude looks like an NFL linebacker. Like, this dude looks like, this guy's huge. Like, these guys, this is where I need to be. This is where I want to be. This is where I always want to do. But man, they call it going inside the brown fence. So if you go, Ranger Regiment is surrounded by a brown fence on Fort Benning, just kind of keep everything secure. And they came and picked us up in a bus. And we heard stories before that. We heard stories of they're not letting you on the bus. You have to run from airborne school, which is like maybe 3 miles, to the RASP location, the training facility, and you got to follow the bus with your D-bag, and you're running. So I was kind of like worried about that. But no, they picked us up on the bus, took us there inside the brown fence. We did in processing and all that stuff, and then
what was it like going inside the brown fence like that very first time? Like do you remember that? Like, I mean, like what were you nervous?
I wasn't nervous, but I was always like, what if I get hurt?
Yeah,
it's not my fault. Like what I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah,
and
so you were just more excited, like.
Yeah. This is I finally made it. I made it. Like, just give me a shot. I'm gonna do it. Do the best I can. And never doubt a quit. Never doubt I wouldn't make it.
Yeah.
Luck. There's a lot of luck involved. There's some bad luck here and there. You can have a bad day, but if you have 2 bad days in a row, like, you're getting dropped.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna do it. But I remember getting there and getting off the bus. I think we checked in and did all that stuff. And then the Ranger instructors, these dudes were yoked, tatted up, looked the part, and
like what you would expect a special ops guy to look.
Destroyed us in the rocks, push-ups, air squats, doing D-bags over your head, flutter kicks. I mean, it's called a smoke session, and we're getting smoked, constantly.
And this is like you just got there and
got there.
Yeah.
And just getting destroyed. Setting the tone. It went on for, hours. And a guy told me one time, he's like, they legally have to feed you. Like, you just got to get to chow. You can do anything hard till lunch, and then it's going to start again. You can do anything hard till dinner.
Yeah. So you're trying.
And I'm like, let's just get to chow. Like, get to lunch. I don't know. And
were there people that didn't make it through that initial?
Yes, that's the point.
Crazy.
So I end up going we go to pre-RASP. So our class hadn't even started yet. So we're in a holding facility in another side of the barracks where it's pre-RASP. So you're just there, getting in shape, doing PT every morning, still trying to learn your Ranger Creed, because you're going to have to recite it and do all this stuff. And you got a class leader. They're trying to keep everybody, stay out of trouble. Don't leave base, all this stuff. So, we're waiting for our class to start. they lie when they say they don't purposely get rid of numbers before the class starts because, I mean, they want to get that class as small as possible. So they're trying to make you quit in pre-RASP. And some guys did. The more quit, the better for you. Like, I love when people quit.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like talking dudes into quitting, like telling them I'm going to quit when I'm not. Like this, I'm like, dude, because I wanted that class as small as possible.
Yeah.
How many did y'all start with?
I can't remember. I want to say 300, and then we were down to.
Did you have going into RASP or pre-RASP? Did you have buddies from basic that went? I mean, did you know some guys?
Yeah, I had 4 or 5 guys from basic that were there with me, and we were close. We kind of hung out.
Did they make it through?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah,
awesome.
every one of them did.
Yeah.
And man, this was the hardest thing I've ever done. You finally get to RASP, you start your class. I got lucky in the sense that I had three guys in my RASP class that were from 101st Airborne, so they're prior service, and have Ranger tabs. They had gone to Ranger school and graduated. So they were team leaders or squad leaders at 101st Airborne, and they got a packet. They dropped a packet to come to RASP and join 75th Ranger Regiment. So they were in our class. So they were class leaders, and
so they had a lot of experience.
Yeah. We were, dude. We never got in trouble. Like, we were one of the most squared away classes because of those guys.
Yeah.
We were always lined up in formation. We were supposed to, never late, doing the right thing, meeting the standards. So, to be honest with you, I think RASP and pre-RASP, I think there may have been around 300 guys. And then once class started, it was probably 200. And then we ended up with maybe 100.
Dang.
Yep. So I can't remember the numbers, but I'm sure it's grown a bunch since I got out. But yeah, get there, do that. The first 3 weeks are absolute hell. I want to say the third week. Because before that, the Ranger selection was RIP. It was the Ranger Indoctrination Program. Yeah, it was RIP before RASP, and it was a 3-week course. So it was basically 3 hell weeks, and if you were tough enough to make it, you were there. And Rangers were tough, strong, but they kind of, as the war started getting a little more complicated and enemies starting to adapt to everything, they were like, all right, we gotta get these guys, trained better. So they turned into an 8-week course when I got there. I think it was like the 3rd or 4th class of RASP after they changed it. So it was 3 weeks of hell. I want to say the 3rd week, we do like a 12-mile ruck out to a place called Coal Range. And if you ask any Ranger about Coal Range, that's where we do, your land navigation, your day and night, you're sleeping outside in a tent. Well, they never let us go in the tent, but you're sleeping outside, you're eating MREs, you're practicing raids, ambush, you're learning basic Ranger tactics, and you're hitting the wood line. There's a wood line about 400 yards from where we kind of stayed, and we're constantly running to the wood line and back, just nonstop. And then you ruck back to Fort Benning the end of the week, and that's your 3rd week. And that's after that you start learning heavy weapons, marksmanship, a lot of medical stuff, a lot of breaching stuff.
So once you get past the 3 weeks, then it's more like
there's a little light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And it was fun, man. You get to learn the cool
guy
stuff.
So the guys that make it through the first 3 weeks, for the most part, you've made it at that point in time. It's just yeah.
And man, when I say these Ranger instructors just beating you down mentally, physically, and you're just like numb to it, and you'll do anything just to get through, just to get to the next chow period.
Yeah.
But I just kept telling myself, it's going to end. It has to end. They can't do this forever.
Yeah.
But rucking was, I mean, Rangers can ruck, man. That was the toughest thing for me. I got a little short legs, so I'm
How
running.
heavy is the pack?
The standard is 35 pounds dry, and then we have to have 2 liters of water. So not too bad. And then you got to carry an 8-pound M4, which was a rubber dummy. It was a fake one. But yeah, dude, that you learn to run when you ruck. It was rough. So getting ready to graduate RAS, made it. We get our orders. The 3 guys that I said were prior service get orders to 1st Ranger Battalion in Savannah, Georgia. There's 3 Ranger Battalions. 1st in Savannah, Georgia. 2nd, Tacoma, Washington, Fort Lewis. And 3rd which is the flagpole, Fort Benning. The rest of the class got orders to 2nd Ranger Battalion in Tacoma, Washington. And, dude, my heart sank. I was like, everybody's pumped. They're like, dude, we get to go to the mountains near Seattle, like Pacific Northwest, cool. And I'm just like, no, I want to stay here. Like, I'm 6 hours from home, 4 hours from Starkville. Like, I want to go home and hunt. And, dude, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, I'm going to go ask those dudes that have been making my life miserable for 8 weeks. I'm going to go knock on this door and ask them if I can get orders to 3rd Ranger Battalion and stay here. So I was like, I did it. I went and knocked on that door, and they were like, what? And I was like, hey, Sergeant, is there any way I can get orders to stay at 3rd Ranger Battalion at Fort Benning? And they were like, what? They were like, you're the only person that's ever asked that. Why would you want to stay here? Columbus sucks. Georgia sucks. You know, none of these guys are from the South. And I was like, I can either lie, which I didn't have a lie, or I can just tell them the truth. And I was like, I didn't want to say be closer to home. I said, I want to be able to drive home and hunt and fish whenever I get time off. And they just like looked at each other and they were like, all right. They're like, we'll get you orders for 3rd. And one of my buddies who I've been bunkmates with since basic, we were basic together, airborne and RASP. He goes and asks if he can get orders to stay here. And I was like, no, like, don't. I wanted him with me.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, don't ruin it for me. What if he's like, no, nobody's staying here. Dude, that Ranger instructor turned around and yelled, does anybody else want to stay at 3rd Ranger Battalion, stay at Fort Benning? And all 5, well, there's 4 of, so it was 5 of us total from my base training. All 4 of them raised their hand. So we've been together since basic, and we all stayed we got orders to stay at 3rd Ranger Battalion.
You still talk to those guys today?
Some of them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
So stay there, and I'm like, dude, every time you finish something and you make it through, you got about 5 minutes to like feel good about yourself because it's about to get knocked right back down.
Yeah.
Every time you.
So how long was basic?
17 weeks total, I think.
Okay, and then 8 weeks.
Or it's 14 weeks, and then you got 3 weeks of airborne school.
Okay.
And then you got 8 weeks of Ranger selection.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's a little time in between there.
Yeah.
I think I want to say, I joined in August of 2010 or 11. I can't remember, but I remember making it home for Christmas, like before Christmas. Yeah. I went home on leave.
So when you finish the selection, is there like a ceremony? Like,
there's a we don our tan beret, we get our tan beret, and we get our Ranger scroll. Okay. So, my dad was there. I mean, my whole family was there. Mom was there. My dad got to come on stage and put my Ranger scroll on my arm. So, thought that was cool. Yeah. And there's awards like honor grad and PT award. I think one of the guys from 101st got honor grad. Dude was really squared away. So, you're like, we made it. We get a few days off, week off, and then we got to report to our platoon. So our mortar platoon there at 3rd Ranger Battalion. And we show up there, and new guys, most miserable. I'm talking about, I wanted to go back and start all over. That platoon, those team leaders just got back from deployment, just ruined us and smoking us every day. And when you're doing push-ups as a brand new guy, you have to elevate your feet on something. Like put them up on a wall locker, put them up on a chair. You do not get to do regular push-ups until you get through mountain phase of Ranger School. So Ranger School is a leadership school in the Army that anybody can go to, get a slot for and learn Ranger tactics and leadership. So you don't have I think every West Point candidate officer that graduates from West Point has an option to go, whether they want to go or not, but every one of them gets a slot. So, if you don't have it, yes, you're in Ranger Regiment, you have your scroll, but you will not become a team leader or get promoted until you go to Ranger School. And you are literally a nobody until you go to Ranger School. So here's my goal. Like, I want to get to Ranger School as fast as possible. How can I get there? And I've got 21-year-old team leaders who've deployed twice. I'm 3 years older than them at the time, just destroying me every day, all day long. No combat experience, no deployments, no Ranger School. So you're getting woke up, you're having to go drink with these guys, your team leaders in the middle of the night when all you want to do is go to sleep. They're getting up at 5, taking you on death marches, runs. You're just trying to earn your keep, learn your job. I'm talking every day. And I'm like, okay. There was another guy in my platoon, new guy. He was a college football player, and we became pretty close, but we learned our job, and then we started a training cycle. So every 8 months, Ranger Regiment starts their training cycle over. So within Ranger Regiment, you got 4 platoons or 4 companies. You've got Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. Those are your line companies. Those are your 11 Bravos, your breachers, your CQB guys, your door kickers. You want to get corny with it. And then you've got your Delta company, which is your headquarters company, and that company consists of K9, snipers, mortars, and your reconnaissance guys. And then you've got Echo company, that's your mechanics, truck drivers, cooks. So that's how a Ranger battalion is, formed, how it is. So every line company, your Alpha, Bravo, Charlie will have, their internal medics, but they'll have a sniper team tasked to them. There's 3 platoons within each company. They'll have a K9 guy attached to them. They'll have a reconnaissance guy attached to them, and mortar team. So I ended up working, throughout my career, I ended up training with all these different companies, but I was attached to 2nd Platoon Bravo Company for all my deployments. So I trained with these guys every training cycle. We did our own little training off to the side, and then we'd get with them and we'd do their stuff. We did airfield seizures at Fort Benning, where we, as an entire battalion, we jump into an airfield. We parachute in, and then we basically take over their whole airfield. And
how many guys are in the battalion?
3,000.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I have to Google the.
That's a lot bigger than I expected you to just say.
That might be all 3 battalions. I have to look it up.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
And then how big's a platoon?
40-ish guys.
40.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably maybe with all the attachments, so 30 within a line company.
Yeah.
They've got a weapon squad with belt-fed machine guns, and they've got your breachers and all those guys. But so that platoon, 30, 40 guys.
Yeah.
Each platoon.
And that's who you're kind of tight with.
And I got real tight with them. I mean, ended up deploying with them, the same platoon every time. They were requesting me, back with them for the next following training cycle. But my first deployment, I don't want to say this is unheard of, but I had never seen it. But me and this guy I became friends with, that was a college football player. We were a little bit older, but neither one of us had gone to Ranger School and become team leaders. We're brand new guys. Well, we were a mortar team assigned to 2 Bravo. So we're 2 brand new, basically privates attached to them. And they liked us. You know, they knew we knew our job, and a mortar team attached to a line company is a 60 millimeter mortar team, and it's a handheld mortar tube that you can carry on your back inside a ruck, and basically Kentucky windage, and you've got a bubble that's illuminated that's giving you your distance depending on your angle, and you're launching 60 millimeter rounds. So we're carrying that out with us on target. What sucked is, you know, this dude's 6'2", 250. I'm 5'8", like 175 at the time. I'm carrying 12 60 millimeter mortar rounds, and he's carrying a 20-pound tube. And we're just rucking around training with these dudes all over Fort Benning. You know, we'll go train. We went to Alaska and did a training cycle. We go all over and train.
Really?
And I'm just like, why am I carrying all these rounds? And he's like, we're the same rank, you know. But anyway,
How much do the rounds weigh?
Oh, yeah, you should. I hope
Just
Ranger
ballpark.
guys.
Yeah.
6 pounds.
Yeah.
I used to know all this.
So
stuff.
you had 12.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm 100 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm 100 pounds. Right.
Yeah.
I'm not going uphill a lot too. So it sucked.
I did 100
I
pounds.
was like, I do not.
I did 100 pounds on the on an elk hunt just a month or so
See, I
ago.
laugh at you elk hunters because that's fun.
God,
Well, he said it like to kill him.
dude.
Yeah, it sucks.
I haven't done anything that you've done. That was
My back.
I told
back
Blake
feels-
when I came down, I was like, this is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, it sucks.
Like 2,500 feet with 100 pounds on your back.
Yeah.
Dude, so
Terrible. And coming downhill, there's no benefit coming down.
Yeah. So we're training up for deployment. We're doing all this stuff. We got a good relationship with this platoon. And we find out that we're deploying, and my first deployment it was a winter deployment. It was really cold. It was Sharana, and it's like central Afghanistan, but very, very cold, not fighting season, you know, very slow, not really getting into much, but they kind of hinted to us that my timeline's a little off, but I cannot remember if they were like, you're going to Ranger school when you get back. Basically hinted to us. So while on deployment, all the downtime we had, I was training for Ranger school. So I was not lifting heavy. Deployments are where you go and get sweet. You try to put on about 15 pounds of muscle and you're just lifting. You're not worried about meeting those standards. You know, there's PT standards, the run. So everybody's lifting like real heavy, and I'm running a ton. And I've read other places like you need to put on weight before you go to Ranger school so you can have weight to lose. I was like, that sounds like the dumbest thing ever. I'm gonna be in the lightest and most shape ever. So trained for that. We went out pretty good bit on target. And
what does that look like when is it mountainous area?
Yeah. I mean, there's some flat ground, but yeah, majority of it's pretty mountainous. A lot really rocky too. My ankles, dude, snow on the ground in a road field, walking in a road field.
So
with weight.
So y'all are on foot.
Yeah,
a lot.
We're on foot. So not even get into crazy detail, but basically, you know, intel gives us a guy that we're after. He goes to sleep.
Yeah.
We know where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
Things changed over the war, over the years. You know, we learn if helicopter puts us down right on target, that dude's waking up and he can hear the helicopter coming.
Sure.
He's getting in a truck, bouncing, and then it turns into a nightmare. We lose him. So what we were good at is landing about 9 kilometers was like the average from the target building, and walking all the way in silently. So, dude, walking mountains, you know, muddy, snowy,
with a 100-pound
carrying pack for no reason, knowing I'm not going to shoot these rounds at night. I mean, I found out later. I'm like, oh yeah, they got to clear airspace before we launch. mortar rounds at night. That's a daytime
Yeah.
weapon.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, why are we taking this out? I mean, we asked to carry belt-fed machine gun. I'll carry breaching charges. I'll carry a ladder. I was like, anything to take this mortar tube that we're not going to use. So,
Did you ever get a straight answer on why you had to carry it?
No, but I tell you what, I'll get there in a minute. We got to use it a lot. I didn't, but I watched a mortar platoon use it a lot. But did that slow deployment. We're basically, when we get to the target building, we do a call out. We've got Afghan platoon with us that we're kind of training up so they can take over the country. That didn't work very well, but they're doing a call out, telling them they're surrounded, enemy needs to come out, hands up, blah blah blah. And 9 out of 10 times they're coming out. So that the call out started. You weren't silent clearing buildings anymore.
Yeah.
And we didn't have much.
Did the call out start before you were deployed, or like?
I mean,
I just wonder what the general census
it was like
was.
the Obama administration.
Like, how did the guys feel about
You
that?
don't say.
Not cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, getting a lot of guys hurt.
Yeah.
The main thing was the breaches were hurting some. Breaching charges were hurting some innocent civilians, so that's why they went to call outs. But we had standard, call out, no response. You throw a flashbang at the door, 9-banger that goes off 9 times. Still no response. Sometimes send the dog in with a camera, clear, and then
now you can use
fourth
a drone.
time. Now we can. Now they can go in there and clear, see if he's there or not. But 9 out of 10 times they came out. What hurt was when we do a call out and then they barricade themselves in there with a, machine gun.
Yeah.
So, watch some guys almost get hurt because of call out a couple times. So, but did that very, very slow deployment, my first one, but learned a bunch. The dudes were awesome. And man, I'm telling you, I can't say this enough. Some of those dudes that I worked with were just monsters. I mean, some of the baddest human beings on the planet.
Really?
Yeah. And just watching how they operate, learning a lot. My first deployment was real good. So we come back and we get back to Fort Benning. We go on leave. I think I went hunting when I got back or something. Came home for a week, or 2 weeks, and partied with buddies and got to see everybody. And it was awesome. So report back to Fort Benning, and training cycle starts all over again. My platoon was like, "Hey, we're gonna have a PT test. See who goes to Ranger School. Top 2 guys are going to Ranger School," and I was one of those guys. So
really, so how many? Top
two
out of
out of our new guys. Say we had 10 new guys.
Okay,
like 10 privates.
Yeah.
So 2 of us got Ranger School slots, and those guys will go, later.
Yeah.
So I'm wanting to go during the training cycle so I can get back, graduate, get back, and deploy again. So, ended up getting Ranger School slot. 3 of our team leaders want to take us out to celebrate. So we go to Auburn, and party for the night. And we have fries practice at 4:30 the next morning, which is fast rope training. And basically kit up.
Out of the helicopter?
No, well, they're towers that have a 60-foot rope. Not 90. I don't think we did 90-foot very much, but they've got ropes, and you walk up to the top, and you just practice fast roping in full kit, nods at night. So we're like, okay, we'll be back in time, for that. Well, the other guy that got a Ranger School slot, we're looking at our watches and we're like, we got to get back. And he goes missing. So we get a phone call from some random Auburn student chick that our buddies passed out at Domino's down the street.
Oh, boy.
So, he just saw the Domino's sign light up, and he just, Frankensteined it down
like
the street.
Yeah.
So he went down there and passed out in the red table, the Sonic table
Yeah,
chairs that are like concrete, bolted in. He's passed out on one of those. We finally find him, get him in the car. I remember him puking in a Church's chicken box in my lap the whole way back. We're getting phone calls. We're coming in the gate, Fort Benning. We're getting phone calls, and I'm like, dude, they're not gonna send us to Ranger School. They're just ruined our chance. So, and we show up in the parking lot at the barracks. Our two team leaders that took us, we had a DD. This dude was not in our platoon, so he goes to his room, goes to sleep. The two guys, our two team leaders, were getting out of the military in like a month. So they don't have to go to, so they go to their room and go to sleep. And I cannot get this guy awake. Like, I cannot get him out of the truck and like into our building where our cage is, which is basically our locker room, to get dressed and and go down there. And the fries field is like on the other side of the chow hall, down the parking lot, like half a mile away. You just run there, like walk there. And I'm like, I don't know, leave no man behind. Sorry, I gotta go. So I run up the hill, I get, and I'm telling you, I am trying to do my combo lock on my lock with one eye open. I cannot figure out my combination. Boy. And I'm trying to, dude, I remember there's a breaching tool called a Hooley tool, and there was one in the corner. I just picked it up and just beat my lock off the thing. I was in such a hurry. Got dressed, got my plate carrier on, got my knives, got everything. And which I don't think we had knives on that night. I think they had the lights on at like a football field. But I just book it down there, and I'm taking a shortcut, and I'm going through the woods, and I'm getting to through the woods, and I see my platoon in the corner, and I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna walk out there, and I'm like, hey, I'm here. I kind of told him the story why we were late. Like, what's his name? I'm not gonna name his name, but like, he's still in the truck. I could not get him out. I couldn't carry him up there. I couldn't get him. And they're like, well, all right, we'll deal. They go, we'll deal with you later, and we'll deal with him later too. And I'm just like, oh God. So I remember going up the steps, and the first rope that I do, I'm talking about I don't even think my feet hit the ground. It's like back first. And one of the squad leaders is like, Bush is done. He's not fast roping today. Like, I'm still drunk.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh God. So anyway, well, they get done. So I'm just sitting over here watching them. Anyway, we go back up the hill, and all hell breaks loose. So they wake him up out of the truck, drag him up the hill, get him dressed, and we go outside. Our punishment, they're in full kit. They're making other privates do this with us, and they didn't have anything to do with it. So everybody's in full kit. I'm in PT, like I'm in my shorts and T-shirt and tennis shoes, and they let me do all this smoke session with because I showed up. Like, I had the balls to get to go down there and show up. So this happened, all day long. This happened from 6:30 in the morning to lunch, and we're pushing Humvee back and forth. They're throwing fence posts in front of the Humvee because it won't. So we're doing that all day. We got our D bags over our heads doing squats, so we're getting messed up. So, right after that, it was all over. Turns out everything's cool. Like, we did our punishment, everything's cool.
Wow.
And they're like, all right, we're gonna help y'all do your packing list for Ranger School. So 75th Rangers, before they send guys to Ranger School, we have to go to CERT, which is a 3-week course, pre-Ranger course called Special Unit Ranger Tactics. And they basically crunch Ranger School, which is 61 days or 60 days. They crunch that into 3 weeks. And that was hell too. So you had to meet all the Ranger School standards first few days, and then you're working on raids, ambushes, land nav, day and night, all that stuff. So they're prepping you. Basically, they're like, Ranger Regiment does not have time to send guys to Ranger School and have them fail and have them recycle and have them start. We need you back in the platoon to train for deployment. So they give us a little pre-course to prep us before we go. Yes, we have a lot of experience, but Ranger School is a lot of old Vietnam style tactics, just basic stuff. But the best way I can describe Ranger School is like a medium suck for a long period of time.
Really?
So nothing really harder. It's just, dude,
Continuous.
61 days, just nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
You got your 3 phases. You've got Benning phase, which is very basic. Mountain phase, which is in Dahlonega, Georgia. And then you got Florida phase, which is in around Destin, Florida. So Eglin Air Force Base. So we got time.
Oh yeah, we're good.
I was gonna say I can speed it up.
No, you're doing great.
So CERT was, we just screwed off the whole time. It was fun. We were making sure we were knocking everything out. We were learning, but I just remember doing ambushes on a truck on a guy, and I remember guys that were on a 240, belt fed machine gun with no ear protection and shooting blanks, and it was just so loud. He's just shooting it like this, like we were just messing around. We knew what we were doing. We had it all down, and so get everything together. Report to Ranger School at Fort Benning. So Benning phase 1, and you start off all your basic standards, your pass no-go events. You do your PT tests. And I remember the top, I swear I broke a bone on the top of my foot. The top of my foot hurt so bad from CERT. When I got to Ranger School, I remember an instructor said, "You will not, if you're not 100% when you show up here, you will not pass." And that was just motivation.
What were the requirements?
I mean, I had a couple Marines in my Ranger School class,
no, I mean,
but you just the
fit. Like what? How did you have? What did you have to do to pass?
Ranger Regiment, we do we don't do a 2 mile regular Army, time mile. We did a 5 mile. Standard was under 40 minutes. Push ups. Not to sound like too arrogant, I cannot remember the standards because I was doing more. I was maxing it out every time. But I want to say it was like 55
in 2 minutes.
In 2 minutes, sit-ups was around the same, and your 12-mile ruck march in under 3 hours, and pull-ups. I want to say it was 6, which was easy. But you're up.
Is that
down,
with your gear?
No, it's just PT short T-shirt. But at that time I was doing 96 to 97 push-ups, and same with sit-ups, and I was doing my 5 mile in probably 36 minutes.
How do you feel like your time playing sports in college, like the teamwork there?
It definitely prepared me for that stuff.
Yeah.
Just facing adversity and grinding through pain and all that stuff.
Working together with the guys. And all that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was awesome. It was awesome. But yeah, you had to be tough growing up, doing what we were doing. But man, got there and just crushed. I think I set my PR on my 5 mile, because I was running scared the whole time, and I remember it being kind of cool. I went and I had a summer class. It was June, I think, when I went. It was hot, but I remember it being cool that morning when we were doing our run, and I was just getting it, dude.
Yeah.
But just crushed. And they call it I forgot what they call it, but they fail people for push-ups, and dudes get screwed all the time. They say you didn't go all the way up, didn't count, or they zero you. So whenever you go up and down, they keep saying 0 and 0 and 0 until you quit, until you get up.
Yeah.
So they are literally trying to get those numbers down day one.
Yeah.
Day 0. So if you ever talk to a military instructor and they say that's not true, it's 100% lie, because it is true, because I saw it more once. But I remember being in the push-up line, and there was like 4 or 5 guys in front of me, and they were like, "Do you want to go first? Do you want to go first?" They were all scared to go first because they were like, "I don't want to get screwed. They're going to fail the first." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll go first. Like, I don't care." And I was like, I'm literally going to beat my chest off the ground and come off the air where he cannot fail me. I was so scared to get screwed like that. But dude, I think I did about 22 or 23 push-ups. I remember I wasn't even at like 25 yet. And he told me to get up. He was like, "You're good." And I think standard, I don't know, was 45 to 55, one of those. And I was like, yes, let's go, dude.
Yeah.
Did sit-ups, maxed it, push-ups, 5 mile run. Like I told you, went awesome. Felt good. There was a few dudes that were freaking getting it, and there was like no way I could catch them. But I just remember I felt good. It wasn't hot. Do all that. Then you do a lot of obstacle courses, all that kind of stuff. You do some trail runs. You do a buddy run, trail run, and they're all like. I think I got all the fail pass events done, and then I think I lack land nav, day or night land nav, and that's week one. Well, right at the end of week one, they do day land nav, night land nav, and the following morning is the 12-mile ruck. So you're not fresh if you're barely passing your 12-mile ruck. Dude, you're 100% failing it in Ranger school because you're at 75%.
Yeah,
like you're getting beat down. And I cannot fail land nav because you have to repeat it that night, and you got no sleep, no rest before you do your 12 miles. So I was always really good at land nav. I think you got 5 points and you had to get 4 to pass. And dude, I was doing my grids. I ran to every point. I was the first one back. And I just got 4. I didn't even go to my 5th.
Mm-hmm.
And the RIs were like, "You're back already?" They're like, "Give me your grade sheet." And they checked it. And then I knew this question was coming. They're like, "Why'd you only go to 4? Why didn't you go to the 5th?" And I'm just like, they don't want to see my cutting corner.
Right,
and I'm like,
right.
I just said, I was scared I wasn't going to make it back. And they were like, he just shakes his head and walks off. He's like, "You're good." And I'm just like, well, I'll take it back. There was one guy still there when I got back. And I was like, "How'd you get back so fast?" I was like, "I ran this whole thing." And he pulls out his map, and it was not in a map protector. It wasn't in a plastic divider or whatever. And it was like disintegrated. He fell in like a ditch and got it soaking wet. So his map just fell apart. So he had to start. Yeah, he start over. So, day and then did night, land nav, got back, and I'm like, yes, like I got one more thing to do. And so everybody that finished land nav, they're having guys cycle back through and do it over whatever they failed. We're over here doing flutter kicks and getting smoked by the RIs, the Ranger instructors. And this dude, he's pacing back and forth while we're doing flutter kicks, and every time he turns his back, my feet are on the ground. I'm like, I'm not doing flutter kicks. I'm saving some energy. And I want to say, I can't remember what time at night that was, maybe midnight. But the ruck was like 4:30 the following, that morning. So I'm just chugging water, doing flutter kicks, cheating when he's not looking, like trying to save some energy. And man, when you get this rucksack, so in Ranger Regiment, we used like Vietnam era Alice packs, the green rucks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in Ranger School, we had the basic Army ruck that's on the plastic frame. And what you wanted to do was undo all the straps, take it off the mallet, off the plastic wrap, and you want to re-strap it as high up on top of the frame as possible, just to have that weight up there, everything balanced. So I did that, dude. I had my ruck pack, had everything tight. I mean, the best looking rucksack for rucking you've ever seen in your life. Like high up on the frame, had my belt, had my straps like perfect. And you have a PT belt wrapped around your ruck, and you'll have a PT belt, like a reflector belt around your waist too. But I remember we got on the bus and we went down a road at Fort Benning, and we went to the starting point for our 12-mile ruck, and it's a 6 miles down, 6 miles back, and it's kind of hilly. And I'd done the route before when I, just training, and we put all our rucks on the side of the road, and we went and got our safety brief in the middle of the road. And right when he finished the safety brief, he said, "Your time starts now." So dudes just scattered and took off running to get their ruck and get on the road and go. And somebody grabbed my rucksack. And I literally sat there until like I kept looking for it, and I was like the last one to start. And I picked up this raggedy ruck, sagging, not tight. And dude, I'm talking about rashes. My back is like done. I'm so mad. I want to kill this guy.
I would have
I'm
been
so,
furious.
and I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I should have marked it with some. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm running. I'm so mad. I'm running. And anyway, I ended up finishing. I passed. And I remember this dude being like, "Who's got my ruck?" And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Dude, you took my ruck." And he goes, "No, I couldn't find mine. Somebody took mine." Our rucks were next to each other, and we both got each other's ruck. Yeah,
Well,
obviously, because that was the one left.
better
But
end of the deal. Huh?
I know. I was like, learn how to pack it, like set your ruck up. So do that, and then the next 2 weeks of binning phase, you're learning spatial, basic ranger tactics, ambush, raids, all that kind of stuff. So
And you've already been deployed at this point
yeah,
one time.
yeah. And I had experience within Ranger Regiment. It's just different. We were doing up to date stuff.
You're right.
But as far as like being able to carry heavy weight and knowing all the tactics and stuff already, you've got West Point guys in your class. You got some regular Army guys, and you got some other Rangers or Green Berets if they want to go.
Is that one
but
step
the West-
above Rangers?
What?
You said if they want to go.
Oh no! If they want to go to Ranger School, they can.
Oh, so all right, real quick. What are all the special force divisions?
Okay, in the Army, within the
Or
Army,
just military?
well, you've got
so there's
75th Ranger Regiment.
Okay.
You've got your Green Berets, your SF dudes, your Special Forces. You've got Delta. There's some other stuff, mixed in there, but then you've got Marine MARSOC in the Marine side, and then you got your SEAL teams. But then you've got your Air Force PJs, your pararescue guys, your JTACs, your comms guys. There's just different. You'll have to look it up if you want to get into like the smaller stuff. There's some stuff that most people. There's a reconnaissance unit within 75th Ranger Regiment called RRC. I think it used to be RRD that nobody knows about. And their selection process is pretty grueling. It's so grueling that if you make it through their physical phase, and you don't get picked up at your board, you don't have to go through SFAS, which is the Special Forces selection. You just go straight to the Q course and start doing their training pipeline. So, but that's all the ones off the top of my head.
Are they all considered, as far as like the elite of the elite, they're all kind of on the same playing field? They just do different things, or is one? None of them are
just
considered
different stuff.
more.
You've got your tier 1 unit, your SEAL Team 6 within the SEAL teams, and then you've got your CAG, your Delta Force that's in the Army. A ton of those guys from Delta come from Ranger Regiment. Gotcha. It's got a huge Ranger pipeline and Green Berets in there too. So a lot of them come from there. The transition, like I have some buddies that are transitioned over from Ranger Bat over to Green Berets. That's something that I thought about doing coming back here.
What's the primary difference between a Ranger and a Green Beret?
Just, Special Forces, Green Berets, you learn a language and you're training indigenous, tribes to kind of take over their government, training them in your basic, your basic Ranger tactics and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So, you're kind of living with them, learning them, teaching them stuff. And then you've got your Ranger Regiment. They were designed to parachute at low altitude on an airfield and take over a country. So if you think about it, you want to invade a country, take over that airfield, surround it, and then now you've got every American plane can come land there, and then you just go.
Yeah.
But the war in Iraq and Afghanistan, that GWAT era, everybody's doing the same thing. You're doing raids, going to capture high-value targets, doing that stuff. So basically, everybody kind of does the same thing, does the same stuff. All the SOPs, the standard operating procedures are basically all the same. We learn from them; they learn from us. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And then, with that, so let's see. figure out. Yeah, so Ranger School Benning, I'm doing all that stuff. I kind of figure out real quick they like just want to see leadership, so I'm yelling. We're getting ambushed. I'm yelling, putting guys where they need to be. I'm like, you get a graded slot. Like they call out your roster number, and they're like, you're going to be platoon sergeant today, and you're getting graded. So you better hit. It's hit or miss, but you better hit your first go. You're not guaranteed another look at a leadership position and to get graded. So did good there. Got my go. Moving on to mountain phase.
Is that the final phase?
No, that's the middle phase.
Okay.
So mountains, you're learning a lot of climbing, a lot of rope stuff, mountaineering, just different terrain, dude. We're in the mountains. I thought it was awesome. Wasn't cold, wasn't too hot.
And that was in Dahlonega?
That was in Dahlonega, Georgia. It was awesome.
Yeah, Dahlonega is beautiful.
I remember getting up on the Appalachian Trail one time and being on it for about 10 yards and then getting off or walking through there. I thought it was cool. So I got very lucky here. Mountain phase is usually the toughest, like physically. I got lucky here when we got there. We're in we're getting assigned our platoon, our company, and an RI, a ranger instructor, said, "Where's Bush?" And I'm like, "I'm right here, Sergeant." Like I don't know what, and he comes up to me, and he has a ball of green 100-mile-an-hour tape, the duct tape, in a ball. And he hands it to me and he goes, "This is an inspectable item. If you do not have this on you when you finish, I'm going to fail you. I'm going to give you a major minus, which is one, 2 strikes you're out." So I think you get 2 major minuses and you're getting recycled. And I'm like, how does he know? Like, why did he do this to me? So being from Ranger Regiment, you tie down everything. So I get some 550 cord and put a couple loops around it, and then I put my tape over that, and then I do a loop, and then I put it on my belt loop, and then put it in my pocket so I won't lose it. And so I'm like, I don't understand. Anyway, like what he's messing with. So we learned a lot. The first week we learned a lot of mountaineering stuff, a lot of knots. You get a knot test. All that stuff's cool. And that stuff was so complicated. I was so amazed at some of that stuff they can do, like the pulley system and all that stuff. I can't remember any of it, but I mean, getting a wounded guy up a mountain on a Skedco with ropes and pulleys, just sliding him up a mountain. I'm just like, this is cool. This is cool stuff. Yeah. So you learn all that stuff. It's kind of, you want to say it's fun, but then you start your grading. Your next 2 weeks are your grading. So we're in the field 10 or 11 days in a row. And, you're planning, your West Point guys, your guys, they're learning officer stuff. So they're doing con ops. They're working up plans on the battlefield that you need to execute. And they're doing sand tables, like you're building the target building with rocks and you're labeling this target building number 11, and we're planning. So that's what they were good at. That's what they're there for. If you got any Ranger guys, we're going to run the belt feds. We're going to carry heavy weight for you. Like, hey, you got, 100 pounds of ammo. How about you're getting graded today? How about I carry your ammo for you and then have you lightweight so you can get a go? Because we're all working together. You don't get your own go. Other guys get your go for you. And you learn that pretty quick. So working together, and there's peer evals after every phase where you're peering guys. So, you don't want to screw anybody over.
Right.
So, we had some guys that were some scumbags that we peered out pretty quick, but, the first graded position, the first day, that RI that gave me that tape was like, "Hey, Bush, you're platoon sergeant planning today." Or he called out my roster number. I'm platoon sergeant planning. So I'm like, all right, what is, you're in a patrol base in the woods. And I'm like, what's platoon sergeant planning? So there's 2 guys in each squad that get graded position at the same time. So I think a West Point guy, he's doing his thing. And I'm like, all right, what do I need to do? And he's like, here's your grid. All platoon sergeant planning, all you have to do is plan your route, and you get a grid and that's where your MREs and your water and your ammo are. So you're going to restock. So they give you a grid, and it might be 300 yards away from your patrol base. So I get the map, mark the grid. I take like 3 or 4 guys with me. We have a radio. We go find the MREs, the ammo. We load it up in our rucks, and we tell them we're coming back. And we come back, and we dish it out. That was it. That's all I had to do.
Really?
And I got to go. First day 1. And I'm like, how did I get so the rest of those days, I'm carrying 240 Bravo. I'm carrying, heavy machine guns. I'm carrying dude stuff. I'm just trying to hook people up, help them out. They end up getting peered like really high. Ended up finishing mountain phase, and that RI goes, he's like, you got your tape? And I'm like, yeah, it's right here. And I pulled it out. And he's like, dude, there's no way. He goes, I was just messing with you. I didn't care if you lost that. And I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, do you know Whittick? And one of my buddies from Bravo Company that I just deployed with, became friends with, just graduated sapper school with that guy. And he told him to mess with me when I got there.
Nice.
So I thought that was funny. I was like, well, he hooked
a ball of tape.
Dude, he hooked me up.
Yeah, it worked out
and
well.
Whittick's one that I bring to the Delta to hunt.
Yeah.
He's
That's awesome.
So leave Mountain, we get on a bus and we go down to Eglin Air Force Base and we start Florida phase. And dude, I want to talk about melting. I mean,
just
100. It's August, end of July. Sand's hot, and dude, everybody's just completely smoked. And I was like, I've been so lucky through Ranger School. Like, I've been crushing it. Like, I'm top. Like, I'm gonna get honor grad. Like, no major minuses. I've crushed everything. Getting peered top. Like, cool with everybody. Became friends with some of the West Point guys. I mean, 2 of them played football. 1 wrestled there at West Point. They were awesome. We're hurting. I mean, we done probably lost 15, 20 pounds at this time.
Jeez.
And yeah.
So you're weighing like 160 at
Dude,
this
I
point.
had small pants. I just remember pulling them, 2 inches from my. I mean, I probably wear the largest.
So
now,
you're planning to go small.
Yeah. So we get there, and you learn a lot of swamp stuff. You learn. You got a snake class. You do the Zodiac boats. You do a bunch of stuff like that. Learn waterway stuff. All that. You do rope bridge where you got to cross a river. It's got a big current with your ruck. Swim test. I think. Oh yeah, the swim test was at the beginning. But so do all that. We learn all that stuff, and then you start your patrols, which is your next 2 weeks. And dude, I want to say like 4 or 5 days goes by, and I have not got a go yet. And we heard about the long walk in Florida, and it wasn't that bad. It's not like a long walk in other special operations selection courses, but it's basically an unknown distance ruck march on gravel roads in Florida all night. Like, usually you do all your patrols, you execute everything, and you might walk 400 meters and set up a patrol base and then eat your MRE, do security, and drink your water, and then you get to sleep. You might get maybe an hour. That's max. Hour of sleep a night. I mean, they'll do these RIs will ambush you in the middle of the night when you finally get to sleep.
As soon as you go to sleep.
But this is where, I'm hurting. I'm hurting bad. Sleep deprived. And I remember one night we did, I was point man. I wasn't getting graded. There was another guy getting graded, but I'm point man. Everybody wanted me to do land nav, so I'm in front. They had one night vision goggles and monocle, like per platoon, and the front guy gets it. So I had it, and I'm used to running duels, 61s, the white phosphorus knives with Ranger Regiment. You can see pretty good. To one night vision, and I'm like, I can't see, and it was full loom night, and I have it flipped up. I mean, we're walking washouts in clay, sand, and I'm like, I'm gonna roll my damn ankle. So I have it flipped up. I'm just using the moonlight to walk where I can walk. And the RI keeps telling me to put my nod down. Walk under your nod. And dude, I probably rolled my ankle probably 4 or 5 times that night, just hitting the ground. And it like wouldn't break, but I just kept rolling it, rolling it, rolling it. And I'm just like, I'm not going to quit, but I kind of wish this thing would snap in half. Like, this is getting old. I'm hurting. So, dude, we get there and finally set up patrol base. Maybe got like 45 minutes, hour of sleep, and we get woke up. We're getting up. We're doing security. Everybody's kind of brushing their teeth, getting dressed, packing their ruck back up, like getting ready. And I get I can't remember my grade position, but I'm getting graded. And we're in our patrol base, and dude, everybody's falling asleep. So I'm running around. I'm hitting people with pine cones, rocks. They're laying in the prone, pulling security, and just sleeping. And this morning, like the battalion commander of Ranger School and battalion sergeant major, and had somebody from somewhere walking with them, and they're walking just to watch and look. And those RIs were so embarrassed. Everybody's asleep. I can't keep everybody up. And like I failed. I got a no-go. And I'm just like, no, worst morning ever to get a graded position. I'm like, I knew my luck was gonna.
Yeah.
So not motivated at all. So I'm like, I hope I get another go. We got like 2 more days. And the last day I get another go, and I am platoon leader planning, which is an officer position. And I have to write a con-op and like control the battlefield and do all the planning. And I have a West Point guy who's barely awake trying to help me. I'm in my Ranger handbook. I'm trying to figure this stuff out. Like, I don't know how to do. So I finally kind of figure stuff out, get my notes. RI comes over and he's like, all right, go. So I'm talking all the leadership positions into like what we're going to do. The wind blows. I had laid my note cards down like on the ground, and the wind breeze comes through and just scatters them everywhere.
Oh, God.
And he's like, well, Ranger, keep going. And I'm just, dude, I am like bull crapping my way through this. Like, no, not going to let it fly. So I got recycled in Florida.
Oh, man.
And I was like crushed. And I was like, what a terrible. So I can't remember I don't know if it was July 4th or what, but there was like a 2-week period where like everybody went on leave. So we had stuck there. All the recycles got stuck there for 2 weeks until the next class starts instead of like the next day or couple days. So we just ate and lifted weight, or did push-ups and slept, and kind of just in this barracks room waiting on the other class to start. And dude, it started and I'd already gone through it. And I was like, I'm almost done. And I was like hooking dudes up, telling people, hey, we're doing this. There's an ambush right over here. I remember this spot, like just hooking people up. And ended up getting a go. I got looked at one time, getting a go and graduating.
Nice.
But
what year was that?
This was 2013.
13. Okay.
Yeah. So I got to Ranger Regiment, did a training cycle deployment, came back.
Yeah. Ranger School.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Like that's what you want to do.
Yeah. So now it's back to the platoon after that.
Come back to platoon, get promoted and become a team leader, and they would not let me I think we were deploying 2 or 3 weeks right when I got back, like in September, October. And they were like, we want to keep you here and you'll go mid-row. So just stay back. And I'm like, no, dude, like I want to go. Like I'm ready to go. So I'm staying back at Fort Benning and trying to, train and lift and get back in shape and get back healthy again and get ready and just hanging out. And I was like, dang, I got like a month and a half of downtime. Like I want to go to school or go do something. So, didn't do anything, but deployment time coming and we're going mid-row, like mid-rotation. So I fly over there with just a few guys and, let me back up. This is very important. I'm in Starkville one weekend and, just a few hours down the road, not hanging out with some buddies. I get a call at like midnight and they're like, "Hey, you got to come in," and I'm like, "Oh, like I'm supposed to you're supposed to sign out and get a pass before you leave, within 100 miles of the base or something like that." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm like 4 hours away," and they're like, "All right, I'll cover for you," and I'm like, "Well, what's up?" And they're like, "Just get here like as fast as possible." They're like, "Some dudes got hurt," so there was an IED and we had 3 casualties and like bunch of dudes wounded, and that was like the platoon I was going with. So yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
So that sucked. So I show up mid row and like morale's low, dude.
Yeah.
And you learn real quick like you ain't taking no downtime to mourn nothing. Like we're going out tonight, and I'm just like I'm pumped, but I knew those guys. I wasn't super close with them. I was close with some of the guys that got hurt, and you'll meet one of them this year. But yeah, it sucked.
Yeah.
We had 2 Rangers get killed. We had a CST, the female that goes out with us and helps with women and children on target, and then an FBI guy got killed.
Golly.
But yeah, it sucks. So, regrouping, and I think that was a pretty cold deployment too. So it's it was slow. We didn't do any air stuff. We didn't do any helicopter stuff. We were on Strikers, the up armored vehicles, and we were in Kandahar. So we were doing everything from there. We got in a couple little ticks here and there, just some pop shots and nothing bad. While the rest of the deployment, come home and a sniper slot opened up. A few of them did, and I asked if I could go over snipers, and they're like, "Yeah, let's go." So ended up transition over there. It was me and a few other guys that I was real close with from mortars. A lot of those guys were getting out of the military, or they're getting promoted and having to go back to a line company and be a squad leader there or a platoon sergeant there. But ended up going to sniper school. That was, I could go clean that course like now, but at the time they had changed the standards from like a 16 by 20 inch IPSC target on your pass no-go quals to 12-inch pie plates. And they were painted orange or yellow, red, and orange. And, you got your red clay. And so, dude, we had one guy pass the class. Wow. And you want to talk about our sniper platoon, man? Dude, they were livid with that schoolhouse. They were livid with us. They're like, how can you not? And I'm like, dude, it was tough, man. Like, it's a windy day, and you're shooting, 12-inch pie plate. And couldn't find half the targets. Like, you're looking for yellow and, a red painted target with a yellow number on it. And you just cannot find it in the sage grass or the yellow grass and the red clay. And dude, that sucks. So we went back and did a train up. Anyway, they changed it. The NCOIC at the time, the NCOI in charge dude was just like, I want to just make this course so hard. And I'm like, everybody since 1984 has done the same thing except this class. And yes, it sounds bad saying that, but like, yes, once we got through sniper school and trained, like, yeah, I could go clean that course like nothing. Because all the instructors like, we just cleaned the whole qual this morning. I'm like, yeah, y'all been doing this for a while. I'm like, man, but anyway, we gutted it out. It was awesome.
What were the sniper setups they had y'all using?
Man, we had we qual with iron sights with an M4. They just added that back in. That was an old school thing. You should be surprised. Like,
what's the distance?
I think it was at like 50 meters.
Did anybody struggle with that?
Your group, yeah, some dudes did.
Really?
Like some regular Army guys had issues, but you're just shooting your groups. I think you had to get them all in like a 1-inch square or something. It was something like that. I can't remember, but then you have your SR-25, your Knight's Armament, your AR-10 platform. We had a Leupold 1 to 10 power scope. It had a mill reticle and MOA dial, and that was like your basic. That setup was legit because, 308, you're forced to learn how to how to run MOA and then how to run mills. You're forced to hold with mills and you're forced to dial MOA. So learning all that math, converting it. Now MOA is all phased out. It's all mill. You got your mill dial and your mill reticle. But then we basically shot that a ton and then quad on that. And then we shot a Remington 2010, which is your 300 Win Mag platform bolt action. And then I think we had it was like a Leupold with it had TMR reticle. We learned the Horus reticles at the time. Your trimmer reticles, that was fairly new, but we learned how to use those different reticles. Shot that, and then we shot the Barrett 50 some. Had to qual with that, but it was awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, our instructors there, they had some combat experience. They were legit. They were awesome. Stalks was probably the funnest thing ever. You're getting a grid to a target. It's your instructors are in the bed of a truck. They've got 10 power binoculars, and you've got a grid to the truck, and you're let out. And our stalk lanes were 1,000 to 800 meters, I want to say, but you need to. I think you got 3 or 4 graded stalks. You got to pass 3 of the 4, something like that. But basically, you learn how to set up your ghillie suit. You learn all that. You learn hides. You learn how to use screens, trees, which is awesome. I use that to bow hunt today. Use it turkey hunting.
Yeah.
Like screens is like the key. Like
Walk me through the just the general concept.
Throwing off their what do you call it? But you've got basically if you've got a stack of trees in front of you, 20, 30, 40, and you can get in between those and find you a lane, like they can't see. But throwing off their depth perception.
Yeah.
So,
I bet that is useful.
I mean, have a limb or a tree, in front of you with a deer, cannot figure you out. So, just learning that. But getting into position to shoot at the truck and then identify the card that they hold up. It'll either be a number or a letter. So,
what kind of you said it was 1x10s was y'all's main? What was the longest distance you were shooting with a 10 variable?
Oh shoot, we're shooting on your pass no go or your go no go event, like your qual. You got an 800 meter target.
Oh, really? And you had to shoot it with. I mean, what was your? How tight of a group are we talking about?
Oh, at 800. I mean, it's a MOA gun. I mean, you're shooting inch groups, but you're learning when. You got it figured out.
That's crazy.
And you don't dial for wind. You're holding for wind, but they gave you free reign to dial or hold. I preferred to dial at that distance, but you're on time. So, I mean, building a range card, you're shooting these 1 or 2, maybe 3 ranges all during sniper school. So they're like, you might want to build a range card. So you're drawing colored pencils, you're drawing stuff, and you're working with your partner. Maybe there's a fallen down oak tree, and we call that, you'll have a name for it, like Forrest Gump or something. If you say Forrest Gump, he knows to look right there.
Yeah.
So, building your range card, rapport with your sniper partner. You've got a partner with you the whole time. And that qual, the go no go event, you're getting 5 targets under time. You're calling win for your partner, and then you swap, and then he calls win for you, and you got 5 targets.
Wow.
I think it's like 80% to pass, but the instructors will call out a number, and you got to find that target with that number out there. And usually the spotter's got a better optic, higher power. He's going to spotter's probably going to find it with that spotting scope before you. And he's like, I found 3. It's at Forrest Gump. And he just knows to get that gun on that target. And then he'll call win. Hold left edge, center. He's got, your spotter will have your dials, but you got them memorized. Like I know I can grab any 308 rifle and dial 1.5 mils for a 300 meter target and hit it, So you just got
That's awesome.
Yeah.
you kind of memorize everything, but man, yeah, stalks was my favorite. And you're getting points, you're getting graded, you're doing a bunch of stuff. It was probably one of the funnest things I've ever done. But graduate that, show up to our sniper platoon, and then we train. We get to go, we got to travel and go do some shooting schools. We got to do some competitions, do all that stuff. Then you go work with your platoon, and I went back to 2 Bravo for my 3rd deployment. And
so your 3rd deployment, you went as a sniper, not as a mortar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And dude, I thought it was going to be like way better, like physically. Dude, I swear I thought I carried more stuff as a sniper than I did carrying that mortar tube, those rounds. Yeah, we had all kinds of stuff.
Y'all shooting it first focal plane or second focal plane?
First. Mm-hmm. But it was fun, man. I was like in a leadership position, basically. You know, didn't really have to answer to anybody. I'm doing my own thing, and I'm helping plan, and it was like I was an asset.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've got thermal capability, so I'm keeping everybody up to date on the radio. I'm looking at stuff, scanning all the time. So it was fun. It was very active. Basically get high ground when we get to target, and doing call outs. I'm scanning, looking for heat, like suicide vests, looking for stuff, calling stuff up on the radio. Fun, but we ended up going to Kabul my 3rd deployment, and we did not run very much out of there. We trained a ton of the Afghan army guys. We shot a ton. We trained a bunch while we were there. It was pretty fun, very laid back. I'll fast forward. We're getting ended up being my wife and I got married in 15. This is 16. So we have a long distance marriage for a year, and our first child's on the way. So,
oh man,
dude, we're getting ready to go home, and we sleep in the daytime, and we run missions at night. So we're doing, so we get woke up in the middle of the day, and they're like, "Hey, y'all got to meet us in the top." So we go in there, and basically they give us a sit rep and basically tell us we're going to bring first bat in here and run this mission, but y'all are here, y'all are acclimated, y'all have been training. We're going to keep y'all here for like 2 more months, and we're going to run it. So we planned for weeks. And basically this is when ISIS was kicking off everything, and basically found ISIS Fort Benning in a valley, and we're going to go clear that entire valley. And I cannot remember how many kilometers, but we had a plan where one platoon would clear a third, we'd come in and clear the next third. And we planned, and this, you can look this up you can kind of Google this fiasco, but basically it did not go as planned. First platoon went in that night. They were planned to be out there for 36 hours, something like that. So, there's going to be some daytime for this one. So they were supposed to clear the first third, but when they got to the mouth of the valley, RPG comes out, and they're in gunfight for 6 hours and never cleared anything. So, 36 hours later, we're going in there. Bravo company's flying in there, and we're going to relieve them. And I'm thinking we're going to go through the valley and start where they left off and clear through this valley. We got 2 platoons on each side of the valley. We're clearing through. And no, dude, when I run off that helicopter and like set up security, and the you're getting dusted out, everything clears, we're outside the valley. So we not only clear Alpha companies, we have to clear the second, and we lost an entire platoon to heat exhaustion.
Really?
Golly.
K9 had to get flown out. Dude, I'm cramping up. Like, I'm just sucking down Gatorade, gel packs. Like, we had to get water resupply. It was an absolute nightmare. And I remember, like, later, one of the nights, we're going through, we're clearing these houses, clearing everything. And every time we stop to get water, take a knee, figure out some stuff, I got to get high ground and use a thermal. So every time I got, high ground And like right when I could take a knee, they're back moving. So I'm climbing back down. So I'm like never resting. Like I'm hurting. And we get to this, it's a dried up creek that runs through the valley or river. And I remember being on the edge, like where it dropped off and that breeze was coming down that valley. And I'm just like, dude, it's 120 degrees. And I'm just like, God, this feels so good. And I'm like telling my best friend, Ranger friend, sniper partner, we've been together since the beginning. You know, he's with me. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to look down this valley and I'm going to look down this river and just scan and look. And he's like, hey, I think they need us over here. I'm like, all right. So I get up and we go down this like wadi, this irrigation ditch. And I'm laying there. As soon as I get on both knees, both hamstrings cramp up. And I'm like laying down in this ditch. And I'm like, dude, I'm hurting. And I'm just rolling them out, trying to straighten my leg. And he's giving me some more of those Gatorade gel packs. I'm drinking water. And all of a sudden, I hear something on the radio. It didn't come in clear, but I'm talking about every M4 in that valley just went cyclic, like went Winchester on everybody. There was a guy with an AK walking down the river straight to us. And that's the one thing that I regret. I was laying there scanning that, and I was like, I could have seen that guy and smoked that guy by myself. But I just remember laying in this ditch while everybody's shooting. I'm just like, I'm so pissed, so mad. And I'm like, God, my bad. So, yeah, that was funny, not funny. But anyway, we cleared through. And I want to say, at the time that platoon was still on the other side of the valley was still, I think they may have had one or two guys get medevaced out for heat. But they had a road but no shade. We didn't have a road. We were side sloping the mountain, but we had all the trees on our side. So we had shade or some trees. So it was like, whatever, double-edged sword. So, I remember getting to like where the valley kind of forked and made an island and then came back together. And we got there, and me and my buddy, like my other sniper team partner, we're at the front, and everybody else is kind of above us. We're kind of coming downhill, and we're behind a big boulder. And I remember seeing on that island were houses compound built there. And then we had some up to the left, some down the bottom. And I remember smoke was coming out of the chimney. Smoke came out of this chimney. So we called up on radio, and they're like, hey, we got smoke coming out of this chimney. Obviously signaling something. Then we had some goats, and we had what looked like women and children coming down, walking in the river. So they're going back the way we came. But I remember we were scanning these people down here, and I swear I saw tan, like combat boots, brown combat boots on what we thought were women and children. So call that up on the radio. Hey, we need to go down there and check those dudes. And they were like, no, just don't worry about it. And I'm like, no, like something's up. So anyway, I'm sitting there and we're just scanning everything, trying to figure out where's what. We don't see many people. No threat or whatever. But dude, I hear a snap, and this rock right in front of me just explodes. A bullet hits right in front of my foot. And then we call it up on the radio, like, hey, contact front, I don't know, 400 meters. So we're calling it up, and I just look up there, and everybody's just like, where? And I'm like, I don't know. That direction, 12 o'clock, that's all I know. And we wanted to run up there with them and talk, tell them what's going on. So they didn't hear it. They didn't know. Mountain comes alive. They return fire, and we get up the hill, and then anyway. So there's about a 6 to, 7-hour gunfight.
Golly.
All day. Airstrikes. Dude running. I want to say the other platoon on the other side took a few casualties. They're getting medevaced out. I probably shot 100 rounds of 300 Win Mag that day.
Out of a bolt?
Yep.
How many rounds, how many M4 rounds are you typically carrying?
Your basic combat load's 7 30-round mags, so 210.
I mean, surely you're blowing through that in a 6-hour gunfight.
Oh, yeah. But we got ammo. resupply. I think I had another 100 rounds. I mean, I had 200 rounds of 300 Win Mag on me. I mean, I'm carrying a ton of stuff.
And that ain't
ghillie
light.
suit for no reason, just ghillie top. Should have taken our SR-25. Should have carried our 308s. Not, I had a 300 Win Mag. Partner had a 338 PUA. So we carried way too much gun for. I mean, nothing was outside of 500. So yeah, we were rolling pretty heavy. And anyway, that went on. We dropped a few bombs and then exfilled out of there, and it happened again. Roll my ankle. And I remember our platoon sergeant was telling us to run, get back on the road. But I'm like, if I run, I'm going to have a heat stroke. If I walk, I might not, I'm probably not going to get shot. So I was like, I would rather risk getting shot than having a heat stroke. I know for a fact I'm going to get a heat stroke. I'm having a heat stroke. So I'm just like walking, like limping through these rocks. Anyway, get back on the road, exfil, and we regroup. We meet up with other platoon. They've got like 6 or 7 guys left. Everybody else, about 30.
Dang.
35. It was bad. I mean, there was a lot of stuff to that, but it was bad. We did a water resupply. I told them I did not need ammo. And they resupplied me with like 300 rounds of 300 Win Mag. So I had to carry that out.
Oh, at least they listened to you, huh?
I buried a little bit of it. So it's still out there. I couldn't carry it. It was too much weight. I'm
Ammo's
hurting.
expensive, man. Dropping on it.
I know. So
go get it,
dude. That was a rough deployment.
Yeah.
But
that
we
was
get out of
your
there.
third.
That was my third.
Yeah.
So get home. Everything's cool. My ankle was like messed up. I know something's not right. I tore ligaments, blah, blah, blah. So my enlistment's coming up for November. I want to say this was like August, September. And I'm getting out in November. So basically come up with a plan, like happily married, want to be home. So I'm like, I'm hurting. Ankle's hurting. So I tell, Ranger medics that like, hey, I need to have surgery. Like, so I need to get X-ray or I need to get MRI on my ankle. So they were like, hey, we got you an MRI scheduled for December. I'm like, well, I'm getting out in November. So anyway, that's how the Army works. So when I go home on leave, I get my 2-week leave and then I got my paternity leave for our first child being born. So I'm home for like a month. So I go Mississippi Sports Medicine and I figure out they take TRICARE or whatever our insurance was at the time. So I'm like, hey, I need an MRI. So I get X-ray, MRI, and then surgery is scheduled like 4 days later, like on a Friday, and this was like a Tuesday.
Wow.
So I did all that in 1 week. And I'm like, everything's cool. So I called leadership back and told them, I'm like, hey, I'm going to have ankle surgery while I'm home. They were like, okay, cool. So ended up having it, recovery, go back on a scooter on one leg in a cast. And they're just like, what in the world? You got damn surgery? Like, you just show back up having surgery? Like, we were supposed to do all that. So they were kind of mad. Anyway, I went around them, did everything, taking care of myself, blah, blah, blah. So basically they were like, well, now you screwed up. We can't let you out. Like, you can't ETS out of the military until you're like 100%. Like, we're not obligated to let you leave until you're healed. So
why is that?
I don't know. Just probably has to do with the VA, whatever those type of claims and whatever that stuff is. So I'm like, I got like a 6-month rehab, and I'm like, it's November. I'm like, dude, no. So basically didn't have anything to do except rehab my ankle. So I did like 7 hours of rehab with our strength coach, like every day, getting my ankle, and then driving back on the weekends to see our newborn baby and my wife, and then going back. And I did that till February, and I got to where I could squat and run and all that stuff.
Wow.
So get out, daggum, try to adjust to home, like no job. Like my platoon deployed that following February, into February, March, and one of my really good buddies gets killed in April. Man. And like survivor's guilt sets in. Like, I'm starting over again for like the 5th time. It seems like.
How old are you at this time?
I'm 27 or 8.
27.
Yeah, 28. And like, dude, just can't find a job. I got, plenty of jobs working for buddies, but it's like nothing's long term, like nothing.
You're looking for a career.
Are you living here
yeah.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Live here. My wife already lived in Regatta
Okay.
when we met. So we lived there, and just depression sets in, like everything. Like starting over. Don't know what to do. And then you're listening to everybody's like, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. So I ended up working a few jobs with a few buddies. Everything was cool. And then finally the wife's like, you get back in the military. And I'm like, hey, I just got a job offer contracting for a company in DC and doing security contracting in Iraq. And it pays like X amount, like really good. You can set your own deployments, like minimum 60 days. So you can do your own schedule, 60 days on, 60 days off. And finally she's like, just go, like do whatever. So there was like a year-long background check, and then I had to go to Colorado Springs and do the training and the selection for all that stuff. So to even pass all the quals. So I had a job doing that. I did that for about a year, and then, dude, we go to Virginia or West Virginia and do all the training, and then we go to Colorado, fly out to Colorado, and go through that selection process. And, dude, I'll tell you what, this was one of the most fun things ever.
Really?
Like, laid back. Like, quals were tough. Pistol qual was tough. But after just learning it and running through it, like, it got pretty easy. But you learn some cool stuff. You're hanging out with some like awesome dudes, like-minded, real Ranger heavy too. So met a lot of Rangers from other battalions.
Yeah.
Worked with them. And I did that I think I did 5 trips to Iraq.
Really?
Yeah, I did that for about 2 years.
Now, what did that look like? The security detail.
It was really laid back, but basically you're working for the agency and you're either running security on a black site or you're running agency people to town together and then getting them back.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but very laid back.
Like
a lot of
personal
downtime.
security for somebody.
I mean, maybe you get tasked out to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe one day go pick up somebody from the airport.
Yeah.
But it was awesome.
Yeah.
It's kind of embarrassing to say that like you just had nothing but downtime. A lot of gym, a lot of range time, a lot of you're working 8-hour shifts. I mean, you're on call 24/7, but food was awesome. No threats. There was some getting rocket attacks every now and then. But nothing bad.
Yeah.
And then, dude, just thinking about it, wife's miserable working. And we got our second child at home, and I'm gone like 6-7 months a year, for 2 years. And it'd be something if she wasn't working.
Yeah.
But like it got bad.
Yeah.
So I had to. I mean, it's the greatest job a single guy could have, but I had to find a new career. Came home, got into the banking, the mortgage industry.
How do you make that transition?
Dude, I don't
war to
know.
banking?
Well, I was going to get into real estate like everybody and their
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
And then
I know a couple realtors.
I figured out.
I think everybody knows a couple of
Well,
realtors.
I figured out that these mortgage guys were like killing it, not looking at the whole picture, and it was like COVID. Yeah, because of COVID. Of course they were killing it with all the refis. So I just fell into that and learned, as soon as I got leads and built a reputation and built those relationships, like the interest rates just went boom. So I was just like, now I know what to do, but the referrals are slow. Yeah. And that guy was just miserable. So became friends with Kyler. I had a hat. And like I was getting hats from him, and we just talked bow hunting, dude. And he's like, I've asked a lot of people about you, and like only a few have said bad things. He's like, I'm starting this this blank hat company, and like you need to come be my sales guy. And I'm like, well, you can't pay me. Like, I can make way more money doing this. Like, anyway, months later, he calls me. He's like, we're going out to eat. I'm like, all right. And we just go over everything. And he's got like a sick business plan. Like, and I'm like, he's like, you're in the outdoor industry. Basically, like, we're going to hunt. We're going to, be in the outdoor industry. And I'm like, all right, say no more. And like, it's been awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm busy.
Yeah.
But it's fun, but
well, I don't know how. Like, I can't remember if you and I met through the Backwoods Grind, like the coffee stuff, and then I think
trade shows.
Yeah, I think when you were still banking,
I was juggling both for
first.
Few. Yeah,
and then you decided to go full time with Lost Hat Co, and that's awesome. But before we wrap up, I do want to talk briefly about the stuff that you're doing with veterans. And
dude. So, brought some ranger buddies to our farm and hunted, duck hunting, and for that veteran weekend, which is awesome. Mississippi does so.
That's in early February?
First weekend of
February, and you get the 2 days, so it's not split like Arkansas and Tennessee are. Or Missouri. One of them, the other ones are split, but
they do like awesome. One at the beginning
day,
of it,
or I think they do like a Saturday for veterans, and then the Sunday's the youth day, something like that. And then the next weekend it's the same thing, so something like that. But dude, and we got ducks that time, so and they had a blast, and it was awesome.
And these are some of those guys you're talking about. They're not from the South. So, like, had they done that before?
One's from California, and then another one's from Oklahoma and Nebraska area. So he hunts a lot. He's actually played ball with the guys over at Crash Landing.
Oh,
like they grew up with them, high school with them.
Cool.
Yeah. So, and then, but they're all in Alabama, Georgia now. They're still around Benning. Yeah. They're out, but they're hunting. They're bird. They do a lot of upland bird hunting. They're duck hunting. So they're traveling. My platoon, one of my platoon leaders on that last deployment is I want to say he's in Texas, but he's duck hunting Arkansas a ton. And got a dog, so he's ate up with it. So
that's awesome.
But brought him back last year, had a great time, and then we're going to go I think we're going to go crash one day this year, and then we're going to bring them back to Mississippi.
Nice.
I was telling him.
That's
but
awesome.
No, I'm just trying to, I want them to have a place where they can be themselves with me on our land, like no rule, like just relax, act like it's yours. Like you go to a awesome lodge,
you got to be on your P's and Q's.
You're just like, I don't know. I'm like not as comfortable. I'm like, y'all just come to my house.
We'll cut this.
We'll just whatever. So, but no, it's
that's awesome, man.
But Mr. Phillip took us last year.
Yeah, that's
we
awesome.
had an awesome time. Other than it being 85 degrees that week.
Well.
Yeah.
But no, I'm just trying to get them in hunting and bring them. And then I get asked to go places all the time. And I'm like, don't waste a slot for me. I grew up doing this. Like I can go whenever I want. I mean, y'all might have way more ducks than us and, deer or whatever, but I'm like, save that for somebody else. Like I wish.
That's awesome.
Well,
dude.
one of these days, if you want to slum around on some public land, I mean, you're welcome to join me.
I will.
We gotta get
not
up and
super convincing.
I mean, dude, I've had my share.
It's almost time to get up now.
Yeah. It's 10:28 on a Monday, so if you want to be able to put your boat in on time on Wednesday, you better get going.
Yeah.
But they love it, dude.
That's awesome.
They're going. They've been way more than me. Not even been this year.
That's great.
That is awesome, man.
But
I hope I get to join you guys.
Yeah, like friends with you, Jared, Pfeiffer, Ed, Brooks, like, and being involved with like Drake and stuff, like that Drake like group family is just they're killing it right now.
Man, it's incredible.
They got the right people in the right spot.
That's what people have asked me recently, like, what in the world happened to all of a sudden kind of get them to kick their butt into gear?
Dude, the right people.
It's the right people.
There, the marketing. But that's where I was going with that. Is I got them all. I got all these guys hooked up with Drake, or they're getting Drake stuff. So
that's good stuff, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, I tell you, I feel we've talked about this on the podcast before. Like, I feel very fortunate and blessed to be part of that whole Drake team.
No doubt.
Like I was not worthy when I came on. And
Yeah.
Still not, but it's such a cool group.
Oh, I know.
Like all those guys are man, they're great dudes.
Yep.
So, and I mean, like you said, the brand, like the Drake brand, is just
Well, they've just right people.
it's in a
got
position
back in the
now
right
that-
places, and they've kicked it back into gear.
like Drake wasn't cool for a long time.
well, that's the funny thing is like for the longest time, like that's all it was.
mm-hmm.
Like
yeah.
if you weren't wearing
Yeah.
Drake, what were you doing?
Yeah.
And then it just kind of disappeared. It never
Yeah.
went away.
No, it was there.
But it kind of got put on the back
It wasn't
burner,
cool.
and it wasn't cool anymore. And now it's kind of making that push
yeah, I mean,
again.
you know, you can tell a lot when you go to the public, like you go to the draw house, you walk inside and look at what the kids are wearing. Like that's how you can tell what's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, like
No,
for real.
I
Like-
agree.
Like, what are they asking for Christmas?
Man, and
Like,
so
and-
much of that is driven by social media too. And you've got, you put the right people that are influential enough
Mhm.
in a certain kind of gear, and that's going to have such a huge impact on
Yep.
what you're seeing. And Drake's doing a good job at that, though.
Sure.
They're using the right people and the right way.
I would agree.
Well, for the most part,
I
they're
would
using the
agree.
right people. I mean, anybody can buy a camera, but no, that's stuff with the veterans, though, dude. That's that's awesome.
Just get them.
I mean, I'm sure that's so rewarding.
And it sounds, I don't want to be snobbish, but I'm like, man, I just really want to go to my farmland.
Yeah.
I would rather take people than me go
Mhm.
with a group. Like, yeah, I'll go with buddies, obviously, but like, so a bunch of people that are wanting to host us. I just want to bring my guy, my
Yep.
guys with
you're
our place.
trying to create
Just comfortable.
Like you said,
Control everything.
trying to create an
like,
environment
it.
where everybody can be comfortable
Yeah.
and you're in
Yeah.
control, so
Yeah.
you can make sure that everything's the way it needs to be.
Mhm.
And,
And
yeah,
don't-
man,
I mean,
I don't blame you at all.
God, if I had won the lottery today, I'd build an awesome lodge and
You and me
do
both.
veteran
You and
thing
me
all the
both.
time.
Yeah.
It's just like I can't bring a high valued stranger and I'm like, dude, you might get some mice on you while you're sleeping. Like that toilet may not. I don't know if that toilet flushes.
But we're gonna have a good time.
But we're gonna kill some ducks
Yeah, we're
in
gonna
there.
kill some ducks.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like,
I'm gonna give you some earplugs.
I'm
'cause
like, the
you'll
boat-
hear the rats.
the boat. I found this boat on Craigslist. It may not crank, but we'll paddle to it home. Like I don't, we're not.
When was the last time
We're
you
the-
got on Craigslist?
I'm in Facebook Marketplace. Marketplace. Oh god. Oh, it
man.
sounded trashier.
yeah, it did.
Well,
Yeah,
what,
it
do,
did.
what do y'all think about the Eagle? What do we? I forgot what we were drinking.
Eagle
We're
Rare.
drinking Eagle Rare.
Rare,
Apparently, I
yeah.
liked it a lot more than you because I hadn't refilled your glass one time. I've been
I
just
didn't
kind
know
of.
you was gonna polish off my bottle. Like, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Rule
though.
number one: don't put it out if you want it any to be
Man,
left.
look, it's probably been in there for 3 or 4 years. I rarely ever.
So we're doing you a favor.
Well, I guess you could say that. I don't want to move it to the new house.
One less thing. One less thing. Well,
Man.
talk to me about you. I mean, it's your bottle. You picked it out.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the single barrel store pick.
Well, I mean, it's just the.
I know the process,
the
but I mean-
Briarwood Wine and Spirits chose this.
Did you get
bottle.
to visit with anybody that?
No, I stood in line. As a matter of fact, Eagle Rare is hard to get.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a
Allocated.
sought after, but I think it's been, like I said, it's been 3 or 4 years since I got this, and we waited in line. Like it was like I got to
Did
this
they do
liquor
like an
store.
announcement? Hey, we're gonna have X
It
amount
was
of these.
it was on Facebook,
Yeah.
and so they
They didn't
announced,
put it on Craigslist.
No, it was not. Hey, maybe they did. Maybe they did.
Yeah.
I sold a bunch
That's
of
where
stuff on
Marketplace came
Craigslist
from.
back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, so we stood in line. I think my wife and I used one bottle per person, so we both went.
Ah.
And yeah, that was back when I was kind of a collector, but
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore. It's mostly Bush Light nowadays, but.
Unbelievable.
Gotta save,
But it is
gotta
a
save
sol- I
money
mean,
for them Drake waiters.
I'm
Yeah.
yeah.
You would think.
I mean, there's other things I'd rather spend my money on now.
Yeah,
for sure.
true.
Yeah. I got this dog.
I got a gut. Yeah, dog's expensive. I got a gun. gun problem.
I have a gun problem.
yeah,
too.
yeah. That's easy. That's
trying to
easy
buy-
have
Dad's
a
got a
problem with.
really bad
Really?
gun problem. Yeah,
I've got
he's
a-
starting to offload them to us. I'm like, I don't have anywhere to keep.
I bought a safe today.
Did
I'm going to
you?
buy
Yeah.
another.
Well,
What'd you go with?
It was like a half Christmas present, half
Yeah,
I put so I'm glad I was here on time because I was really kind of scared that it was going to be a huge ordeal getting that thing unloaded.
Did they unload it for you? Did they deliver?
You go to Tractor Supply?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Ah.
did too. And they're like, I'm like, y'all ain't gonna bring this to my house. They're like, I'm like,
They
Oh, so
So,
that's
yeah,
why
I
you
took
were
it in my
asking
house
for
on
a
my
pallet jack.
yeah, they put
Yeah.
it on the trailer with the forklift.
Yeah,
but
they
they
put
were
it on the
like,
trailer.
once it was on my trailer, they're
Yeah,
like,
good
all right,
luck."
good luck.
Have a good day, sir.
I had a dolly.
Right.
Them daggum tires were going flat on that dolly.
I
when
used
forget it.
I used an appliance dolly.
And it
We got-
worked?
Yeah, we got it off. But I mean,
Sweet.
it's like it weighs like 800
Yeah.
pounds.
Yeah.
It's a 59 gun plus
Wow.
plus pistols on
that
the door.
means it's 25 gun.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I ought to be able
Yeah.
to put 10 of my shotguns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's big. It's like 6 foot tall. But anyway, so
Nice.
yeah, I've got a gun
Sweet.
problem
Heck
too.
yeah.
So, what about the Eagle Rare? What you think?
The Eagle Rare's always been one. You know, I'm a huge Buffalo Trace guy.
Yeah.
I was telling somebody yesterday, liquor stores are so interesting geographically. You know, you go every time I travel. I mean, shoot, when we were on our way to Nebraska this year, we stopped at a gas station, and they had Buffalo Trace on the shelf in the gas station for $26.
Yeah. Which is the way it should be.
Right, but when was the last time you even saw Buffalo Trace in a Central Mississippi liquor store? And if you did, I can promise it wasn't less than $30.
Yeah.
But if I see a bottle of Buffalo Trace for less than $30, I'm buying it. Like I will buy it every time I see it. To me, Eagle Rare is just kind of that step up
Yeah,
from
right,
the
yeah.
Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
So I've always really, really liked it.
Yeah.
You just cannot find it.
Yeah.
Not around here,
agree.
at least. You travel and, you know, it may be nothing. It may be more common than Makers some places. I don't know. But we can't find it here. But I've
Yeah.
always really, really liked
It is
it.
good. It's smooth.
Makes it better.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of does make it better. What's your go-to bourbon, Bush?
Probably Jack and Coke. No, I'm just kidding.
It's not even a bourbon.
Woodford. I probably
There
go
you go.
Woodford most of the time.
That's like your like if you're just gonna make
yeah.
a liquor store run for
Oh,
bourbon.
yeah.
That's what.
Wood-
You,
yeah.
yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That is a good one. That's right up there. I think Woodford's better than Makers.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I've
for
always
sure.
said that. All right,
Just
give-
it's in the middle. It's meet in the middle.
Right,
Comfort,
well, it's-
comfort bourbon.
that's that. The way I've always described it is like at that price point and availability. That's like I would be okay mixing a drink with that.
Yeah.
Anything above that, I'm probably not gonna mix.
I've got some Blanton's left over.
I like Blanton's, but I've always
Yeah.
been open about the fact that I think it's overrated.
Yeah.
I think it's overrated. But it's a good bourbon, but
Yep.
not for what you pay for it and how scarce it is. But
Right. Yeah.
hit
I
me
would-
with
I
your
wouldn't
food
go-
pairing
I
with
wouldn't
this
go
one.
look for the food pairing for this one. Man, you put me on the spot.
You knew it was coming.
Some of yours are spot on though.
He's got a sixth sense
I know.
about like put me on the spot.
You
Like that's
did
like that's
put
a
me on
new
the spot.
question.
I wasn't prepared. Oh man, I don't know. You know, I think the Eagle Rare is kind of a sweet. Most of the Buffalo Trace bourbon, it kind of has like that sweet, kind of like I don't get a whole lot of vanilla, but it just has like
Little bit more caramel.
like a honey, like a
Yeah,
caramel,
yeah, honey.
caramel. I kind of think like this and apple pie. It's kind of where I would go with this.
There, he does it
It's-
again.
It's probably like I could see. Now I think I normally don't drink bourbon neat with food, like with my meal.
Yeah.
You know, like if I'm having a
I do.
steak,
So I drink it neat with a steak.
if I'm having a steak, I'm gonna drink wine more than likely. But now, like after dinner, I would have this neat with like
little apple pie.
or either apple pie a la mode or pecan pie
See,
a la mode.
Take
You
a
could
little
do
ice cream. Little
yeah,
scoop
you
of ice
could
cream.
do you could do pecan or
I'm
apple.
going pecan.
Yeah.
Little pecan.
And I think the crunch,
little bluebell.
like I think that the pecan pie with the crunch and the pecans and my green. I know you like pecan pie.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh yeah.
green-
I love it.
You can't be from Greenwood and not like
Going down
pecans.
Indianola.
Yeah. So that's what I
Indianola
would
pecan
say.
hell.
I think Eagle Rare and pecan pie
No,
with ice cream.
Have y'all watched the documentary Neat on
No.
Is it good?
Prime?
Is it worth watching?
I'll check it out.
It is
Yeah.
awesome. The way it's
Really?
put together. Yeah.
We need to watch it.
Just
We need to
neat
watch
on
it and do a review
It's-
on the show.
Dude,
Oh, nice.
y'all will love it.
Yeah.
Just it was
I've
put
never even
together
heard of it.
so well. It was on Prime. It was
Yeah.
a couple years ago when I watched it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look into
Look it up. You'll find it somewhere.
Well, dude, we really appreciate
I enjoyed
you
it.
coming on, man. This is awesome.
I know I don't get to.
You've lived.
Tell me
You've
about
lived
it.
a cool life.
Yep.
It was worth it.
You've
Yeah,
been
I would
blessed.
go
man.
back
That's
and
awesome.
do it again at 18
Yeah.
in a
yeah.
heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've
And
been
thank-
blessed.
Thank you for your
You're welcome,
service, man.
I just want to be a
we
normal
appreciate
duck
it.
hunter.
Yeah, you are.
What does that even
You
mean?
are.
Explain.
Just a
What,
There's no
what is
such
I just
thing
want to
as
be
a normal
known
duck
as
hunter.
a normal dude
what is
that
a
likes to
normal
duck hunt.
I've never met one. So
A
you'd
normal
be the
duck
first.
hunter. Yeah, I don't know. what
You'd
that
be the
is.
first.
There is
if-
no normal.
If
duck
you're a
hunter.
normal guy that likes,
I've been
duck
called a
hunting.
mallard snob before.
When do you want to go?
Oh, you're one of those.
When do you want to go
Yeah.
hunt some pub?
I'll
You're not
admit
going to
it.
shoot any. You're not going to shoot any of those widgeon and gadwall we were talking
I will
about earlier.
shoot those, but if there
But-
are mallards
Hey, let me ask you.
remotely close to coming in behind them, I'm gonna wait.
Well, that, I mean, I don't know
And
if that
I'm
makes you a
not
snob.
gonna shoot a wood duck at shooting time.
I'm not gonna
No.
shoot. I'm not gonna shoot a wood duck either.
Y'all are both wrong and stupid.
I'm gonna
and gay.
shoot at a wood duck at 10 o'clock if
I
I
agree.
have not seen
I
a
agree.
greenhead.
Dude, that's
I agree.
crazy. You're not. Mallards
100
don't even fly till 9 o'clock.
100% agree.
Shoot your wood.
False.
If you're listening to this,
That is 100%.
If you're
Where
listen-
are you hunting?
I
that
mean,
the
yeah, I
mallards
get
don't
it.
fly?
if you're listening to this at home, shoot your wood ducks, please.
Well,
I mean,
You
they
can call
do
me-
ban wood ducks. They
can
ban.
call-
The only reason I would shoot
All right,
woodies
put it
is
this
to try
way.
to get a ban.
all right.
That's
I
stupid.
mean no offense by this.
Everybody's got an opinion.
I went and scouted for ducks Sunday morning, and I heard some people burning it down.
They were probably shooting all wood ducks.
Okay. Yeah, do you have ducks or not? Okay, if you're shooting at wood ducks, does that mean you have ducks?
No,
No, you're selling.
You know
out.
what I mean?
You're selling out for the
No.
woodies.
So-
You're not.
You're selling out for the woodies.
That's not the same thing. I understand your
I
point.
did kill a
because
banded wood duck last year. The last duck that I killed last year was a banded wood duck.
We're not dependent on migration progress for wood ducks.
I'll
I
tell-
get your
Yeah,
point.
I'm just saying, what are they shooting?
I'll tell you why I don't shoot wood ducks. The reason I don't shoot wood ducks is because I will cull them out, and that's illegal.
I mean, yeah.
And that's why I'm not going to shoot them. Because
I don't know if that's a good reason.
Because if I've got two woodies on, at 10 o'clock, if I've got two wood ducks and two gadwall and 3 mallards land in the hole, I'm shooting 3 mallards. I'm going to
Oh, yeah.
attempt to
Yeah,
shoot 3 mallards, and then I have to make a decision.
He's promoting unethical habits.
I'm not at all.
One short story.
What I'm saying is
Hunting
I
by
don't
myself.
shoot wood ducks
I know,
because I
you're
don't want to
saving
put
it.
myself in that
Yeah.
position to break the law because I
Yeah.
will.
Yeah, you don't trust yourself.
No, well, if you're an alcoholic, you're not going to the liquor store.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
One short duck story. Hunting by myself. Very cold morning. Got water above my waders. Cold. Had like 6 or 7 decoys out. Work about 30 gadwalls working. They're coming in. And they're behind me. I'm standing by a tree. They're coming around. They're definitely coming in. And I hear something in decoys. I turn around. There's a single greenhead in the decoys. I shoot that greenhead. Instead of wait on 3 gadwalls. Go get that greenhead. Barely, water's top of my waders. Banded. Get to decoys. Water's deep. I don't even pick them up, wrap them. I'm just grabbing them all. Get to the bank, lay by a tree, prop my feet up, get water out of my waders, run to my truck, crank the heater up, go home. Shot one time. One banded greenhead.
And that was it.
That
You
was
were
it.
done.
If y'all were with me, we would have waited on the gadwalls, I bet. But I was like, I just saw.
well,
green. I'm just saying, it
no,
worked
I
out.
get-
It worked
You're
out.
by yourself though,
Yeah.
so I mean, bird in the hand.
If
I
I
felt-
wasn't cold,
I fell in
I
this
probably
morning.
I would have
Did you?
shot some
Yeah.
gadwalls.
Yep. At 7:30, I sent Laura a text and said, "I just fell in chasing a mallard because this dumb dog won't go." That was the text that I sent at 7:30 in
Have
the
the
morning.
fire going when I get home.
Yeah.
I was upset. Oh no, I wasn't leaving.
No, I didn't. Nobody said leaving. I just said
I'm not leaving.
so Delta wouldn't get you ducks.
I still had woodies to shoot.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got to fill that limit.
I'll
Man.
eat them.
Yeah.
I will eat them.
And it comes
Hey,
full circle.
Hey, you can shoot 3 for a reason, right?
They're delicious.
No,
And they're
usually-
beautiful.
I will shoot them, but I'm not gonna shoot them if I think that I can shoot big ducks.
There you go.
Because I don't want to have to cull them out later.
No, I mean, I don't disagree. If I know for a fact I'm fixing to have a good shot at shooting
Yeah.
big ducks, I'll pass on a wood duck.
Oh, I feel like
But-
most of the places that I hunt, I feel like I have a pretty good shot of shooting big ducks,
Maybe.
or I'm not gonna go there.
But saying you
Yeah.
don't like wood ducks would be like saying you don't like the
No, I think they're
magnolia.
beautiful. I mean, I think they're beautiful.
You don't like
I
cotton.
think don't they ban
They banned a
a
bunch of wood
ton
ducks.
of wood
Yeah.
ducks?
ton.
I've
I've
got
got-
two. I've
I've
got
got-
two.
Two.
Yeah, I've
A
got two.
ton of wood ducks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shoot your wood ducks, kids. Shoot them early.
Only in Bama.
What is this
I would
propaganda
say-
you're pushing?
I would say if you're east of
I'm just bitter.
Mississippi,
I'm bitter because I need greenheads here.
yeah.
Well,
All right, we got to. We
I don't
got to
wanna
wrap this
travel.
up. Look,
Enjoyed it. I don't want to travel. I just want to go to the Delta and hunt. I
yeah.
don't want to travel far.
Yeah, I'm like flipping my sky. Like I used to never leave Mississippi. Now I'm
Yeah.
traveling a little bit more.
Yeah.
You got to.
Thanks for coming on.
Enjoyed
buddy.
it, dude.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
This
Yeah.
was awesome.
Thank you for
This
the
was
Lost
awesome.
Hat Co.
Heck yeah.
Sponsorship.
Did you see I waxed this
We
one?
appreciate you
No,
guys.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. I've seen people
Yeah.
do those hats.
I
Those turned
waxed
out
it
good.
myself. Yeah,
All right, brother.
looks good. Yeah,
Lost
thank you,
Hat
dude.
rocks.
Roll us out.
See ya. That's the wrong one.